There's one more setting I need to change to make this game look purty.
What's your current setup in Warframe at the moment?
Oh, that's a really good question, actually. Let me double check that. I literally just went into the game, like skipped all the new tutorial stuff that they were talking about, and just straight went into the ship
Do you
just
know how to
because
play?
I mean, I've played like months ago, um, and like, I mean, they've probably gone through like 2 or 3 major updates since then. So like, I kind of,
Huge updates, content-based updates too, not just filler ones. So
yeah,
there's
like,
a lot of lore to be explored if you'd like.
oh wow, I didn't even know that. But yeah, so like, I can sort of say I sort of know like how to play it, but not really, because there's
Mm-hmm.
just so much that's changed about the game. But that's why I bugged you to bring me along. So
No problem.
I'll head into the game
I'll be
and
here if you have any questions.
excellent.
I'll try my best not to spoil you.
I don't. I mean, at this point, I mean, I've had this game for so long, and I haven't like I haven't done anything with it. That if I get spoiled, it's kind of my own damn fault. So, um, all right. So, what's the best way? You said like, what's my loadout? I'm here in the main menu here, where it says like show profile. Is that kind of the best way to explain what I'm working with?
Is your in-game name System Chuck?
That is correct.
Alright, if you go to communication and to friends and go to pending, you should see my friend request. Let me
Uh,
know once you accept.
Zhang Jin Chan. Sorry, I can't
Nope.
pronounce it.
Yep.
Nope. Yep.
Just yep.
I don't see you yet, actually.
If you just manually just add in friend and just put yep there.
Okay. Wait a minute. Sorry. How do I add?
On the same screen, friends, and the
Yeah.
square below, there are 4 squares.
Oh,
The
add friend. There.
bottom left
I'm not
one is
paying
add
attention at
friend.
all. Yeah.
There you
Oh,
are.
and here you are. Okay, I've actually got 2 now. So accept.
There's 2 of you.
Yeah, I think it's probably because I think there may have just been a delay in terms of us, in terms of the information getting through. So we probably
Mm-hmm.
saw each other's requests. All right, there you are.
Okay. Perfect. So that's set up.
Look at this fancy ass setup you have.
What are you looking at?
I'm like looking at this amazing character that you have who's balancing on one foot, and it looks like he's got the sort of sword that only the captain of the YhipShip could carry. Like that is absolutely a captain's sword that you're holding. Hey, Rithronir. I see
Yeah, it
you,
comes with its
Team
own
Panda.
Captain Cape.
Comes with its own captain cape. I'm just going to take a minute here to shout out a fellow Team Panda member. By the way, for those of you who are just joining us today, you're not streaming this, are you?
No, I am not.
Okay.
My attention is fully dedicated.
Well, guys, Yip is an absolutely fantastic streamer in his own right, and I strongly recommend that you guys check him out. He's a wonderful caster, somebody I got to meet through Stacey Clara's channel as a mod. But I have since had the pleasure of talking with him in various forms of Slack and Discord and Skype and whatever other things we need to do. Absolutely fantastic guy, whip smart, and basically the only thing I can say is I wish that he would stream more when I can see him.
I will attempt to broadcast this fault.
Make me blush here.
Rithronir, I'm actually getting sort of trained by Yip. I don't know this game very well, so I think it would be really cool to do some multiplayer on this, but I have a feeling it's going to be frustrating for everyone involved. And Yip has already demonstrated his patience through through how late I was to start casting today. So if you don't mind, I'll take a rain check on that just so I can get myself up to speed, and then I can stop being carried by you lovely people. Sorry. Yep.
No problem.
Oh, meant to help me learn. I don't know. Yep. Do we? I'm a little worried about too many cooks spoiling the broth, but if you'd like a helping hand. Oh, never mind. I think I made the decision for us on Ronnie. Ready?
All right.
We will bring you in next time. I'm sorry about that. I'm all over the place. All right. Yep. Oh, Captain, my captain. Tell me what I need to know.
Okay, so just to start off, you're currently rank 1. There are multiple ranks that you can go up. Think of them as levels.
Mhm.
As you level up, if you go into your show profile under your icon,
Mhm.
so you just press escape and open your own profile, and you go to equipment. That there is a maximum amount of weapons you can master.
Okay.
The higher your mastery rank, the more weapons you have mastered, the more warframes you have played, and it splits itself into primaries, secondaries, melees, sentinels, Kubros, arc wings, arc guns, and arc melee.
Okay.
So basically there's a crap ton of things for you to do and explore in the game. It's pretty open on how you want to approach this game. The basic premise, are you familiar with it?
Sorry.
Are you familiar with the basic premise of the game?
All I know is running through, shooting things, and getting the objective, which usually winds up being like an escort mission or get somewhere sort of deal.
Navigation has been updated.
Game. The game for me, after about 2,000 hours into it, it's very satisfying to play. Not so much for the lore, but just basically jumping around and killing a lot of things.
Mm.
But there is a very basic skeleton lore. Without spoiling anything, of course, I'll give you the tutorial spiel.
Sure.
Were these things called Tenos. We're not really alive, we're not really bio, we're more of a virus. We're an outcome between two races, and that's as much as I can probably get into it. And there are multiple types of warframes that we use in the war. And in the world right now, there is an operator. Her name is Lotus, and she basically tells us what to do. We're, to cut things short, mercenaries.
Okay.
She basically tells us what to do, and we go and do it. And there are many sorts of missions, but there's an objective for each mission, and we follow that objective, and basically use a plethora of weapons to take down our enemies. And there are a handful of enemies, different sorts, different factions with different belief systems.
Okay.
In terms of where you'd like to begin, if you open your navigation, it should display some planets for you. Which planet have you unlocked?
Let's take a quick look. Navigation's at the front of the ship, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm kind of embarrassed. What's the default key for accessing navigation?
I'm looking at your thing right now. I'm not sure if the navigation has been unlocked. I think it's X is the default key.
Okay.
If it doesn't let you open it, I
it'll tell
don't know
me.
if it's part.
Okay, gotcha. Conclave, news, nothing.
If it doesn't show up, it's probably locked until you've done your first quest.
Okay. I know I've played this before, and I remember navigating between planets, but I'm guessing they've probably added some kind of a lock or something like that. Oh, it says install segment. I'm gonna guess probably that's what's holding me up.
Yeah, so if you follow the little square-shaped cube on your UI,
Okay.
it should bring you to the
Operator,
thing that you
I've
should be
linked the
looking
mod
at.
segment to your
Oh, gotcha.
arsenal now. No need to thank me. Upgrade your
So you
warframe
must
now.
have done a
Go to
quest
the
to
arsenal
unlock
to see the weapon upgrade options you have.
Arsenal?
arsenal. Yes.
Okay. And is there anything I should do here other than just get out of it, or?
Ordis patiently awaits compliance
Now
in
it's going
using
to
the new
unlock
arsenal
your.
features.
It's
It is
first you
for the
unlock
operator's
your
own good.
mods. Now you're going to unlock your arsenal. So it'll go to your warframe is called Excalibur,
Mm-hmm.
and you can go to upgrade to change its
An excellent
basic
find,
loadouts.
operator.
So you
Okay.
There
change
are
that by
hundreds of
putting
these
these
mods to
cards
locate.
into
If my
the
calculations are
warframe,
correct, there
and it
are
changes the
exactly
strength, the
a lot of
range, and the
possibilities.
ability types, and there are
Install the
hundreds and
mod
thousands
before
of
we can
cards out there
continue.
you can
Okay.
upgrade with, called mods.
Gotcha.
Looks like you already have your weapon loadout already. So if you want to jump into a game, you feel free, but you can equip any of the mods that you have on right now. It'll make you sturdier.
Okay. I don't know, reflex guard sounds kind of neat. By the way, thank you, Mia012183. Sorry, guys, I'm going to be a little bit bad in replying, and that's just because Yip is a fantastic guy, and he's helping me learn this game. So if I don't respond to you right away, it's just because I want to make sure that I'm not missing out on any of this learning. So,
Most of this game will be game based. So once we get your ship set up and we can jump into a planet, we'll do that.
okay.
Okay. Right now I'm going to invite you into my party. I'm gonna make it so that it's friends only.
Thanks for helping me
So
out back there.
only
I'm
our
in your
friends
debt,
can join us.
and I often pay my debts.
Oh,
I recognize
I just
that
got a
device.
word that
It's a
the
parasitic restraint.
game is a
We
little loud, so
Corvus use something
I'll get
similar
that
to
fixed.
keep our robotics in line. So, to settle my debt, I give you a very expensive blueprint. For free.
Hope this is good,
Because I like
guys.
you.
Please let me know if it isn't.
And well, a lot of my customers don't live long with these grenade dogs chewing up the system.
All right, I should be in your
Use
party.
foundry to build a countermeasure device from this
Welcome to
blueprint.
the party.
Good luck.
So if you go follow your square, let's see if it has allowed you to
Vor's
join
Ascaris is
either
burrowing
your
into
first
your
quest.
warframe. I'm worried it will affect your mind.
I
I
don't
can't lose
see
you,
a
Tenno.
square yet.
We must restore the ship's foundry
Okay.
immediately.
So perhaps it
A
opened
nearby ore
your
extraction
navigation yet.
colony will have the foundry technology you need. I am certain they will share it with you. Its location has been added to your navigation console.
All right, well, I was talking about the navigation console, so I'm assuming I should have that now. There we go.
Mhm.
Navigation. All right.
All right. Is she sending you anywhere in specific?
Would that be the exclamation point?
Yes, that's the. If you don't want to do the quest, you feel free to go to a planet, and we can start playing on any planet.
Oh no, I'm fine doing the quest. I just don't know. So the quest will always be indicated by an alert, or is it just this is something that's expiring and I don't need to worry about it?
Quests never expire. Alerts expire throughout the day and throughout the month, the week, depending on when the alert is. They often rotate. So the star-looking thing is your current quest, and
Right.
they will always be specific to you.
Okay.
Alerts are global, and anyone can access it, and you do them only once they're out, and they eliminate off your list when you're completed.
Okay, makes sense. So yeah, it looks like it's an exterminate mission to locate the foundry segment.
Okay. Have you selected the mission?
Nope, just did it
Tenno,
now.
we may have a problem. The colony
Okay.
is unresponsive. Get to the surface so we can see what's going on.
Voting on the start of the foundry. Oh, I think it's you'll probably get like an alert or something.
Go.
I'm gonna be a pest. I'm going to enjoy a small bite of a chocolate bar, so I'm gonna go away from the mic for a sec.
Mm-hmm.
So chat,
I
EP
was
Warrior the
afraid
Lord,
of this.
I'm
The Grenier are here, and I cannot find any signs of living colonists.
I am
You still have a job to
learning
do.
Warframe with
Find
Yip,
the foundry segment.
and if you want to guess who's been playing this game longer, take a look at our 2 characters. All right,
I'm just a casual. No worries.
just a casual in a sick cape.
Hey, you gotta be a pretty casual. Okay, so I'm not sure about
This
the
was once a
first floor,
prosperous,
but there
independent
seems to be
colony,
there
until the Grenier
these
arrived.
guys called Greniers, and they were formerly humans, and they are mutated clones basically. These are clone babies, and they're pretty much war driven. I'm not sure why we're here, but I think Lotus is the person that's giving me the quest.
Yes, that's correct.
These are the bad guys, and we kill them. There's a variety of ways you can kill them, and that's pretty much it.
This game is so complicated.
It's surprisingly as very dynamic in the way that it plays. The reason why I'm still with this game and play it very frequent is that one, the developers are Canadian.
Oh, I didn't know
Fun
that.
fact. Two, they're very internationally known and have grown the community for like 2-3 years now. It started up as an independent company, and
Okay.
it's still the reason why it has such a big allure for me as
Now
we
pick it up.
go around killing things. Is that they are very user player based. So a lot of their content, they look at their forums a lot. They have dev streams every week. They have, they cater much to the players instead of like becoming a AAA title.
Right.
So I really feel like they listen to their player base and are very loyal with the game, and they generate content crazy. It's like their job depending on it or something.
Yeah. I mean, one thing that struck me about this game when I started it was just how, like, what I kind of could get in, I could play, and I was struck by how, like, action-packed it was kind of right from the start. I mean, now I'm kind of just floundering around and not impressing anybody, but it's definitely a game I'm interested in, just because it looks so good and it plays very well. The only reason I didn't kind of stay with it was just because life got busy, and it's just a question in terms of there's so many really good games that I have and can play. And
Yeah, and the beauty of this game, and to echo what you're saying, is that it's not very like thinking intensive. You're not gonna like get stuck on a puzzle. It's not. That's not the allure of the game. The allure of the game is, hey, go do things. Go do things very violently.
yeah. By the way, I think we picked up a stranger. Somewhere.
That is one of my friends.
Oh, nice.
He is only here to scan one thing.
Okay.
He will not do anything else.
Oh, no worries.
So the current mission, once you pick up your item from the Lotus, she's telling you to kill everyone here.
Okay. So, gotta find this chucklehead at the top. Actually, I also really like, I think this has always been the case for this game, but I remember in some, it's always a little annoying trying to find where people are on
your little mini-map thing?
Yeah, and
They've
I like...
made improvements over the years, but yeah, that seems to be like something that echoed through DE. And DE is the people that made the game.
Ah,
So if someone has a lot of salt in the chat and is talking about DE, they're talking about the creators.
nice. By the way, Rithronia, I had no idea that you played this game. That's really cool that we've got some people on Team Panda and people who I'll consider surrogate members of Team Panda. Unless you joined and I missed that. You are still just a surrogate member, correct? Anyways, it's neat that we've got a bunch of people that kind of I know and I have some kind of a working relationship with, just because it's neat. I mean, stuff like this is more fun in co-op, especially because it's just a made up. It's just made up for me. There's only one style of membership in Team Panda Rithroner, but Yip definitely has, in my eyes, a special place in terms of Clara's stream, Clara's family, and in terms of the streams that I visit. So it's a little, I would consider it a little weird not to consider him a some form of Team Panda member.
Have a temporary badge, membership ID presented.
Yeah.
Alarms have been reset.
I could call you a member of the system flock, but that is not nearly as impressive.
The system flock.
Yep.
I love that. I love how streamers develop, for lack of better words, branding.
Yeah.
For me, it just kind of organically happens. Oh, how'd you get that? Oh, it sounded good in my mouth. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, it's Jesse Quill. So I actually put it up in my Discord originally, and oh god, please don't fall down this. There we go. I didn't kill myself on the first mission. Yay!
Another job well executed.
Rithroner, again, surrogate member. I'm just making up terms. It has nothing to do with the game. I was talking about you. You are obviously a member of Team Panda. But yeah, I was gonna say, like, I was playing around and like just I was setting up the Discord, so I tried to come up with as many plays on Chalk as I could. Certainly, Jessie Quill has a favorite that she shouts at me when she's casting. But in terms of, just coming out with channels, so like Announcement was System Squawk and so on and so forth. And then because I'm in that rhyming mode, I decided to name membership the System Flock, and it seemed to stick. She's been coming into chat and talking about how, been using the term, so I guess I'm kind of obligated to stick with it now. But
alliterations are pretty much my go-to on
Your foundry
alliterations
is
and
ready for
puns,
installation.
and if they're both, double whammy.
An alliterative pun.
So I
Alright.
think we did the first part of the Foundry segment, and she's
Mm-hmm.
gonna help you install it, and then she's probably gonna make you go collect something else and put it more in the
Operator,
ship.
Did you hear that? It said cosmic background radiation is a riot.
Oh my
Foundry
god, this guy's a
restored.
nerd.
Here, the operator will craft many powerful weapons and tools to exact revenge for dismantling me. To
Which
expand
guy?
your
The
arsenal.
Ordis?
Oh no.
He's your ship
Our component storage is
caretaker.
rebooted as well.
He occasionally talks to you. He talks to you all the time, actually. I kind of hate him.
Corpus. Sure, the blueprint is free, but jack up the components. Operator, we will need resources in order to build the
Occasionally, you
countermeasure
also
blueprint.
pick up your ship. Also pick up scanning from our enemies, so
Okay.
you can hear you eavesdrop on their conversation.
I just
Ah.
received a
And,
very explicit message from your ship server.
This actually-
they're pretty
If you're looking
interesting.
for resources,
It actually
why
explains some of
don't you
this
just say so?
talk I was hearing in the background. I'm like, do I have another
I
stream
know
on or
just the
something like
place,
that?
but I
So
demand an apology. My mother is no genius.
This game has
She
a,
would never eat those things.
built-in chat system,
You can go.
so it's very possible that when you join a party, someone can talk to you through the game. I never
Get a new
noticed.
ship Sevlon when you can afford it. That one seems glitched. I've marked your navigation with a place I know. It's good for resources. If you can stand the cold.
alright, apparently we're going to some place that looks a little bit like your homeland at the moment. Everest. Raid the Corpus resource caches. Again, I'll take a minute here, chat, just while we're loading up, to say thank you for stopping by tonight. I know this is going to be a little odd because I'm sort of being selfish and I'm broadcasting this individual learning experience with Yip for all of you. But I think it's a chance to hear that I'm not the only person with a nice voice on Twitch, and you get to see a good guy at this game teach a bad guy.
A secretive but extremely
Preferably, I'd
powerful
like my
merchant
voice
cult
to drop
known
up
to be
2
working with the
octaves.
Grenier. Darla will fill you in.
Legions of robots.
So I think
mindless
the
automatons,
point of
making
this
layers
mission
of
is we're going
Guys are
to
bad news,
steal from the
but
corpus.
they're also low,
They're bad guys.
which is why you're
We're
here.
chaotic neutral,
Technically,
and we're gonna go rob them
don't let that bother
All right.
you. The corpus aren't exactly
and kill our way until we
They
get
sell
into our
anything
targets.
to
Basically,
anyone.
Nice.
Don't get me wrong, I like
That's
profit a lot,
the premise
but I don't sell
of
my wares to the damn
80% of the
Grenier.
game.
That's unforgivable.
I also remember, I think the crewmen were one where I was a little, I was definitely interested in their design because obviously a headshot is what you normally go for. And obviously in the case of the crewmen for the Corpus, they, oh my god, what is this? Oh, here we go.
You seeing the hologram?
No, I was doing a puzzle. One of them tricky puzzles that takes me
Oh
hours
yeah,
to solve.
so it gets. That's how we bypass the security system.
Gotcha.
So if there were doors that were locked, we'd have to use that system to unlock it, and it gets intricate the higher the difficulty the level is. So at basic level, it's it's as you see, very user friendly. So the story behind these corpus, the general outline is they were also once human. Their main focus and drive is very capitalistic.
Okay.
They've
So
become
my
like
kind of
a
people.
trading bureau of sorts, and they have taken over the world, constantly take over planets and consume the resources, and basically to make a shit ton of money. They're not very war based, but they will fight for resources and dominance of the galaxy. They generally don't fight in person, so they make these tons of robots,
Okay.
and they are constantly at war with the Grenier, the other faction that we just fought. There's a bunch of maneuvering things you can learn from the game too.
Okay.
So if you can slide into a kill. If you slide and jump at the same time, you go into a bullet jump. If you slide and attack, you go into a slide attack with your quick melee. So I think that should be on E for most quick binds. I don't remember since I've changed my key bindings a long time ago.
Gotcha.
And if you are in mid-air and jump off something and you aim, you slowly glide through the air for your shot.
So I jump off of something, and what was the next step?
Aim.
Okay.
Aim mid-air, and it should slow you down into like a
Very cool.
super
So what does that?
slow-mo action movie thing.
Oh, so it's just my character that moves slower, right? Everything else in the world just works normally.
Yes,
'cause I'm
everything
like,
else is in live time.
Okay, because it's like, man, what is this magic that they're doing? Like, your game doesn't slow down, does it?
No.
It'd be the single most annoying feature in a game I could imagine.
You also have a melee weapon that you can use if you take it out and use it as your primary. So I think you hold F to whip it out. There's a bunch of combos you can use, and you can find out which combo it is based on the stance that you put on your sword. So if you press the escape button, there should be a tab called melee combos. And if you have a stance on, it'll tell you the combos you can do inside that stance. And if you hold aim, it's block.
When you hold A?
Hold left, right mouse button, aim.
Oh, gotcha. I actually remember, I remember deflecting the bullets and thinking it looked really cool when I first played this. Trolldus says
That
you'd
is
love...
definitely-
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Go on.
Says Trolldus, I would love to have you voice cheesy instructional videos for some companies' employees overcomplicating everyday situations and how they should behave in those. I mean, speaking of overcomplicating things... Oh. I don't seem to be able to use my weapon anymore now that I've got it in app.
You have to switch it back, but that's an app. So when you're in melee, in order to hit, you need to use E.
I need to use E. Okay, gotcha.
Yep. Because when you hold the fight button down, what you do is called channeling. It increases your damage by a really strong amount, but drains your energy each time your blade makes contact.
Gotcha. So to Trolldus's point about cheesy instructional videos that overcomplicate everything in everyday life, my way of doing the sword is not so much slicing up enemies as just waving wildly in the air while I take a whole lot of hits, and I just pull out my gun in frustration and finish them.
Theoretically, the melee does a lot more damage.
Yeah.
There are also stealth kills, if you're into that as well. There's a system in place that multiplies your damage by your stealth.
Okay. I always like doing it from behind. As you can see, my commentary with Jesse Cool has now started to infect my regular regular delivery.
Some things don't change, and you just love it for that. So when we go through these maps, there are these things called tile sets. That's how the map is laid out, and they're randomly generated throughout every mission.
Okay.
And depending on which tile set, you can pretty much tell where you would be going. And there are like dozens and dozens of tile sets constantly being added into the game. And the monotony that's avoided by the game is that it's always randomly generated.
Mm. I remember when I was first playing this game, it felt like, it definitely felt like, it's like I sort of remembered, you know, being in this certain place. And it's like, okay, I kind of remember being here, but this definitely isn't the same map that we were on, so I was really impressed by that. Everybody's waiting for me.
No worries. Zen, he's just here because he's a completionist. He's not gonna do anything. He missed his chance to scan a bomb that only exists with the beginning tutorial section of the game, and it never comes up again. So he didn't scan it when he had the opportunity to.
Okay.
That's why he's here. So
Gotcha.
he's a leech, and he won't do anything.
I'm totally
Thank you
fine
for
with
letting him
it.
come along.
No problem. A Newcomb, who the hell are you? Why are you a mod in my channel? I don't have mods. Guys, A Newcomb is a friend of mine from high school. Fantastic guy. I would eventually love him to start streaming on Twitch. I've played the game before, and I mean, I really enjoyed it, but just kind of school and life got in the way. So Yip has definitely been playing this game for a lot longer than me and has been much better, as sort of the stats will indicate. But Yeah, and I mean, actually, so I'll put it to you this way: when the guy who's been introduced as being the completionist, who's not going to do anything but leech off on our hard work, is a man not entitled to the sweat of his brow. Um, the guy who is supposed to, like, just be coming along for the ride. It's a bit of a statement when he does 4% more damage than me. This is the level that I'm at. But yeah, so it's no particular reason other than the fact that Yip's a great guy. I've been wanting to stream with him again for quite some time. And Warframe sort of seemed to be the right one to go for, especially because there may have been a group of people in this channel who sent him a number of Twitter messages communicating that this would be a good idea.
I woke up one day and my phone was like blowing up, and I was like, "What is this? What's going on?" And they're like, "You should play Warframe. It's the stuff to Chuck." And I was like, "What?" They're like, "You should play." I was like, "Okay." That's basically my side of the story. To give that full context,
So did we actually
Thing you
wake you
want.
up specifically from those messages?
Lotus, do something. Help the
No.
operator.
I mean, I take naps, so it's not like a climactic event.
We are diseased, rotten, sterile. But now we have you.
I'm enjoying the
Operator,
lore.
do not abandon me again. Build the countermeasure.
Yeah, I have you stream up on one of my slides too.
I did this for my love.
That's a bad guy. You can tell from his voice.
Forgive my insubordination when I deliver you.
So he wants to capture a bunch of us and dissect us because we're really awesome war weapons.
Children will flourish without disease,
Space ninjas.
and I will die at last.
If you feel like your weapon is too weak, what you want to do is go to your arsenal, go to upgrade, and change your mod settings by
Okay.
slapping on mods and leveling the mods up.
Okay. I think I'll maybe take a second to do that now.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, I think this is the wrong one.
That would be your foundry. That's where you would be crafting your weapon. Or buy anything from the
Okay. I have an ammo drum and that's it.
So we haven't collected enough. So either on your Braton or your Lado,
Mhm.
you can start clicking and dragging weapons mods onto the 2x4 boxes. Increases it variously depending on.
Gotcha.
And there these 3 dots underneath the mods. They're the ranking of them, and you can increase them by fusing them with other mods or the same mods.
What do you mean by that? So I just
So
put
an
them on top
example
of
of that is you see the 5 are at the bottom. It says actions, mods, remove all, tutorial, back. If you click on the mods and you click on one of the things equipped, it will bring you to another window where you can fuse it together with the same mod or different mods to increase its charge.
Okay, gotcha. I think probably I'll sit down and do this when I'm off stream, just because it strikes me as something that I can sort of get lost in for forever. And I know you've got not only do you have a bedtime, but I suspect you're probably going to have some manual labor to be doing. So.
Oh my god. Storm. I'm looking at my window right now because my setup is right next to the window.
Mhm.
And outside, and it's looking like 4 inches so far in the ground. So if it's below, my goal is if it's below 12 inches by the time I go to bed, I'm not gonna show before bed.
Okay, so the
But
answer
if I let
here.
it sit outside, it's going to freeze, and then it's going to make, my long-term investment even difficult.
Yeah, it's going to be a pain tomorrow. So I guess the trick here is that I need to finish earlier like as in I don't want to, like just completely abandon the stream completely, but finish earlier, but not so early that you sort of feel obligated to go out and check again. Like I need to stop right at that point where it's like 11.
Yes,
and
that
then,
is the sweet spot of laziness I like to fall into. And I would really, if we fall into that, I would like be really awesome. But I can't consciously agree to do that because that would dignify my laziness.
yeah, you're too diligent for that. I mean, it just if
No,
these things
I'm
happen, these things happen.
too noble for such a devious mental play on my own vice.
Out of curiosity, so it's telling me to go to the foundry as part of a mission. I mean, maybe I just wasn't paying attention to the dialogue or that, but it doesn't seem to indicate to me what I should be building at this point.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. If you go to Foundry and maybe you go to key items, it will tell you. The key items, it should be... should be all the icon all the way to the right, one from the right.
Gotcha.
Perhaps it'll be there. I'm looking at your screen to check. Oh, you're probably supposed to make the Ascaris Negator.
Oh, because of the virus they put in me, right?
Yes. We're trying to detoxify you, right?
Gotcha.
Because you just woke up. So the story behind this is for a frame that's woken up from like thousands of years of slumber.
Mm-hmm.
And the first thing you hear is Lotus's voice, and she's telling you all these things, and you're uncovering things about yourself.
Would you kindly please go kill those?
Yeah. And you're like, sure, that sounds like a plausible idea. Let's do it. You sound like a trustworthy, voice of
Why?
authority in my head.
Why wouldn't I believe this charming young woman in my head?
You wake up one day and there's this voice in your head, and it's like, hey, can you just go to this planet and, commit
Good. You managed to
morally
disarm
questionable
Boris
things that are
Ascaris.
happening? Because the only thing that is
I thought I
rendering
lost
you
you.
from like questioning any of this is like, oh, they're bad guys, it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
So we never end up questioning our own morals in
Oh
this game.
no. The Ascaris had a
At least not
tampering
until later.
assay. It's burrowed into you and
So that's
armed
definitely one of
itself.
the harder
You'll need to
things that
find more before it
is more
detonates.
difficult to
Get to
adapt
navigation.
to
Boarding a Grenier
when you
ship
first
to
started
access
playing the game.
personnel records will
But
be the
once you turn
fastest
off that,
way to
that
flying
dial in
floor.
your head, the morally conscious dial
Operator, what are
down
you
to
waiting
0,
for?
it gets more palpable.
Well, I mean, I've always been a bit of a jerk, so like honestly, just killing a bunch of people for my any ends really is kind of okay with me, especially if I do it for the lulz. So.
Hello, operator. May I suggest you access navigation and save your life?
So it's
For my
asking you to
sake.
do Vor's prize. So there's his baddie. That's the face you've been seeing. And I actually wasn't paying attention to what the lore was. It's been, I think, like a year now since I've last done this.
Okay.
So I'm not sure what he's asking you. But we're gonna go to whatever mission it is. And we're gonna obtain the Mercury Nav segment, it seems.
Gotcha.
In the most recent patch, I don't know if they have already dispatched it.
I mean, I got notifications about a new patch, but that means nothing because I haven't been in this game for so long.
Yeah, they have like a patch every other day, to say the least. So that's not so common, but they did a texture reskinning. So a bunch of the tiles that you're going through, it's really, really pretty. Like this is one of the things that got me into this game is if you just, it's just pleasure to look at.
Mm-hmm.
As
It's
you meander through these halls.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say, like, I was the last time I played this, I actually played it on my old computer, and it was like donated from somebody, so it's got a really, really basic, really like basic machine. I couldn't even like, I couldn't open Dark Souls 2 on it to give you an idea of like where its hardware was.
Mm-hmm.
And I loaded up Warframe, and like on that, I didn't have any, I didn't have any stutters. Like it was just, obviously I was playing it on lower settings, but it was a really, really great looking game,
It's
independent
super
of my
well optimized.
hardware limitations.
And it scales really well with if you go to like bigger streams when they stream this with their 180 by 1020 setups rigs. It's amazing. Like if you look at the galaxy when you're in your ship, just look up when you're at your navigator, you know what I mean. But it's made to be super budget friendly too. So for people with potatoes and toasters, they can definitely play this co-operative.
The navigation segment is in the vicinity. Take it. Good work. We have what we...
So right now
Wait.
we're raiding this ship
Tenno.
and taking their
Coordinates
things.
in this nav segment
And we're
put
gonna
the
run.
galleon on a direct course to a convoy of colonists.
I think
have a
that's
choice.
from what
You can extract
Lotus is
now,
telling me
or you can
what we're
disable
doing.
this galleon and save the colonists. Saving the colonists could
Yeah.
jeopardize this mission.
Watch this guy
I
getting jiggy
recommend
with
you
it.
head straight to extraction, but the choice is yours.
Then
The
No,
Ascaris failsafe is attacking
I don't know
our
if it's
systems.
happening on your screen,
Your
but
shield
definitely on my...
capacity has just been halved. You're wasting precious time, Tenno.
No, please stop.
yeah, the flailing corpse. Oh, you must have what is it, PhysX on?
Yep.
Yeah. The beauty of PhysX.
I'm guessing this is something I should disable if I want a realistic experience.
Hey, we never know what space viruses might do to us in our death. We reminds me of Weebro's welcome thing.
Oh, the Picard.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna tab out for a quick second. I gotta bring chat back up.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Ponce! Good to see you again. Yeah, I mean, I sort of abandoned it for a while, not because I disliked it, but just because I wound up getting a bunch of other stuff, happening and that I wanted and needed to do. So Yip has been kind enough to sort of make me find my feet again, and I'm sort of ignoring chat, watching my numbers dwindle, and otherwise just kind of flail around like an idiot playing this this fancy ass, and I found out Canadian game.
International now. There's a team in China.
Oh, international.
More than one nation is international, right?
Indeed it is.
But once you get into the groove of things, this is one of the very stream friendly games where you just kind of like if you have you're just scrolling through, you just get some friends together, and they'll go and kill things for you, and you occasionally kill something, and just basically chat your way through if you want.
I mean,
it's how I play it.
In some ways, I sort of see it almost as like a third-person action Diablo. So like Diablo is kind of a, I guess an action RPG would be the right way to think of that one. Whereas this is kind of more of a shooter, but in the end, like it doesn't require, overwhelming concentration. Like it's the sort of thing you can kind of put on as furniture while your friends are hanging out.
Yeah. I actually like enjoying like watching streams very often and playing this game. That's why I have so many hours in it, because the majority of the time I spend in this is idle.
Mm.
And
kinda like me in Dota 2.
once you get the muscle memory down, there's something strangely satisfying. I can't exactly put my fingers on it, because it's very far from something I would say that I'm classically attracted to in games.
You've reached the ship's power systems. Destroy the reactor.
I think I need to pay a little more attention to what the HUD is. So do you know offhand what the flashing green and the yellow are about? Because I think I've just kind of gone a completely different direction from you.
Green means that is where we extract, and the orange icon is our objective.
Ah,
Realistically, we usually do the orange before we go to the green,
gotcha.
unless we're in an excavation mission,
Gotcha.
which you can leave at any time.
Alright, I wasn't that far behind you, it turns out. And Troldus, I'm not familiar with the second game, but obviously we've been playing Mass Effect, so I certainly appreciate the observation on that one. But Vanquish, do you know who made Vanquish offhand? Does anybody know who made Vanquish?
Oh, Vanquish looks amazing. Developed by Platinum Games, published by Sega.
Okay. By the way, I'd like to point out that a friend of mine used to argue quite a bit about what was better, Nintendo or Sega. And I would like to point out that only one of those companies is still making consoles, so I win by default.
So we have to destroy this thing.
Oh,
So I think we shoot the batteries, the orange things. And then I think we just stole something from the ship, and Lotus was like, we can't leave anything alive. So we went into the engine room, and then destroyed the engine room, and I'm gonna leave.
nice.
We're like very mannered guests, house guests.
And thank you, chat, for answering the question about Vanquish. What was it called?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I've also been keeping weird hours lately, so forgive me if I'm a little lethargic in terms of my responses.
What happened? I don't understand.
Just bad sleep management.
I think that I would categorize under as life as well. I intentionally make it very big and ambiguous so I can blame a lot of things on it.
Another job well executed.
Troldus, that's pretty much the game too. This is where fast shooter, you jump around and do power slides. Definitely up your alley if you're into that.
I think next mission I upgrade my Bratton.
So there are also these weapons you can buy from the market too. So if you press your escape button and press market, and on the tabs in the top, you go to weapons and go to primary weapons. Look for items that you can buy with just credit.
I'm guessing it doesn't have a filter for this because they want me to buy with
It
you.
does. On the top, there are The 3 card looking thing are credits. The brown coin looking thing are platinums. Platinums are premiums. You
Gotcha.
either buy directly from DE to support them, or
Mhm.
trade on the trading market in your dojo to access.
Okay, gotcha. So it looks like I've got one weapon that I
Mhm.
can buy called the Strun, or also the Paris.
Mhm.
What should I be looking at in terms of comparisons as far as weapons are concerned? Because I was certainly very happy with my Bratton, but I also haven't seen the alternatives.
You have a huge option. So the Strun is a shotgun,
Okay.
which for itself
Operator,
does
did you
very
hear that?
explosive on
It
very
said,
low ammo count,
Mhm.
and so you want to get in their
cosmic
face
background
and blow them up.
radiation is a riot.
The Paris Prime does very, very high amount of damage in a very short amount of time, aka one shot.
Okay.
So if you're more on this feeling a little bit more stealthy and more aimy, I would definitely suggest. Another one that I see is also available to you is the upgraded Bratton, all the way at the top. So right now you have the MK1 Bratton, so you can upgrade it into a regular Bratton.
Okay. Well, let's go for that. I kind of like the Bratton. And guys, I want to take a quick minute here and give a very special thank you to Elkanu, especially because I'm going to be kind of screwing up my normal stream at this point by learning a game live. So I wanted to take a quick minute. I'm sorry to like completely derail this yet, but Elkanu is an absolutely fantastic streamer that I really want to take some time shouting out and giving you some very specific reasons why you should watch him. He is a streamer. He's actually French. Hey, Elkanu! Thank you so much for stopping by. So I want to tell you a quick second about him. He is a French streamer, incredibly nice guy, and actually one thing that I have learned is he's got a fantastic taste of games. So what I have wound up doing, like I've sort of gone in and checked out the stream, and I've wound up buying like 3 or 4 titles based off of what he's been playing. So a really good example of this would be when I did Satellite Rain. He was the only stream to make it not look boring. But in addition, he was playing a platformer called Apotheon, and I think he was playing Invertus Verbis the other night. And then he's doing Soma right now. I'll try not to make you blush too much, but I definitely want to take a second. One thing that I have to do, especially with regarding Elkanu's stream, is keep pushing it out and keep trying to, to speak about why, why I think his is a stream worth watching. I originally, hey, Pumpernickel. Wait a minute, you came from Elkanu's stream not too long ago, didn't you? And Michok, I'm obviously you're saying you can't speak English. I'm sorry, I don't have enough command to say what I mean. But guys, I really do appreciate this. To my English viewers, one of the big reasons why I keep shouting out Elkanu is there's actually twofold. One, I've had a lot of fun in his stream, and I mean, I want to get better at my French, and so I find watching things that I like streams in that language, sort of steep me in it, and I slowly get a little bit better as I go by. I definitely try to speak in French when I can, and I mean, normally I have to reply very slowly because, I'll get a dictionary or something like that, try to structure my sentences. But in addition, I wanted to also say to people who are streamers out there, a lot of times I get asked, sometimes people will talk about my dialogue, my ability to engage, to keep talking, especially on like Crusader Kings 2 streams and that. And one of the things that I really like about having Elkanu on my, my list of people I'm following now is great to recommend, because even if, hello, Niku12313. That's wonderful. Guys, I get a chance to see all of you inside of Elkanu's stream, and I don't speak because, as you can see, I am an English caster. So you guys are always so friendly in it, and I apologize that I'm not addressing you in French. but I also know that I will probably wind up just being incomprehensible if I attempt it. So I really appreciate you guys stopping by and checking out my stream. But again, to those who are aspiring streamers, I think a really great thing about El Canu is if you don't speak French, which obviously I'm going to assume most of you don't, being able to watch his stream and just focus on how he's engaging with people and how he is, bringing pacing. One thing that I really love about his stream is he's got wonderful comic timing. It's really funny to watch his stream. Obviously, when I understand the jokes, but the other thing too is I don't need to understand the language completely to get the jokes. Usually, he's just got such a very sharp sense of timing, such a really wonderful way of eliciting those kinds of laughs. It's a really interesting experiment to go and see why a caster is so effective at relating with an audience and why it's enjoyable, even if you don't necessarily understand everything that's being said. Because I keep, in my own case, I have something of a somewhat developed vocabulary in English. But when you strip that away, the question is, do I still connect? Am I still able to talk to people and be engaging? And I can say that unquestionably on El Canu's stream, you see that. And so if you really want to learn how to be a better streamer, and in my case, if you want to see some fantastic games being played, you should really check him out. He's a wonderful streamer, and I always think it's a little bit of a shame sometimes that friends of mine may not necessarily give him the chance because it's not in English. But I really, really, really do strongly recommend you check out that stream. It's a wonderful place to hang out. So, with that in mind, sorry, Yip, to hijack you. You were so kind to come and teach me this game, and I spend the time gushing about this wonderful French streamer. But I
no
hope.
Apologies, mate. I'm here for you and the stream.
Excellent. But yeah, guys, actually, I do want to also give credit where credit is due. Yip is a good friend of mine. I know him from a streamer named Seriously Clara. So he does stream as well. He's not streaming right now. But if you want to check out the guy who I am streaming with, that is his address. And then I know him through Seriously Clara, and she's the one who takes care of Team Panda. So, all right, I'm done gushing. And again, it's kind of like whenever El Canu stops by, it's a little bit like having a celebrity stop by. I love watching his stream, so it's I get a little bit giddy when I see that name. By the way, El Canu, what were you playing today? And yep, I'm ready to get back to the game.
Roger that. So once you bought the weapon, you can just go to your arsenal and equip it.
Oh right.
In your primary slot.
Enabled, operator.
The detonator is charging up. You need to bring Vor down. He thinks he can capture you again. Don't worry. I will be with you. Let us show him how much you have
Do I need
learned.
to unequip the like modifications that I had previously, or does it automatically do that for me?
Every single weapon uses different modifications.
Okay. So I'm not missing
So
any.
and it pre-saves on your previous modification.
Okay. Oh, and it's capacity 0, probably because I just bought this thing, so makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And 2 hours of Mass Effect. Actually, I've just been doing Mass Effect myself. I'm right pretty much at the start, so I'm looking forward to see you play that and just finish The Longest Journey. Wonderful.
Realistically speaking, so I played some Mass Effect.
Mhm.
How many hours do you think one could sink into that? Because I spent the first 6 hours reading through the codex and the lore
Oh,
with no actual gameplay. I never actually left the first area. Like I got to like some kind of ship citadel, and I just spent 6 hours sitting there reading stuff.
yeah. I definitely think I think you could probably turn that into a couple of 100 hours possibly. Then I do actually intend to do the to speak like the codex and the lore, because I mean everybody's asking for more opportunities for me to read stuff. But I did want to get a little bit of action done, so I didn't make a lot of progress last night when I did Mass Effect, but that's fine. I had fun. So, are we good for taking on Captain Vor?
Yeah, absolutely.
Excellent. Apologies to your friend, by the way, who probably
Are you
is a
ready,
little
Tenno?
confused as to
Facing
why
Vor
we're
is
not
the
starting
only
up.
way to rid yourself
No
of him
apologies at all. I
permanently.
made very clear what the expectation was, and
Okay.
he was like, "If you want to come scan, you're gonna go by our pace." There's very clear expectations that set up and parameters that we fall within. So my
Excellent.
heart is never going to be broken, and you don't have to apologize.
Actually, you're not alone in that, El Canoe. I played Mass Effect 2, which I really enjoyed, and going back to Mass Effect 1, I do
This
find
is our
the
chance.
combat
Vor has been
combat
stripped of his elite
a little
guard.
bit
He is
clunky.
vulnerable. Take him out.
And you played a Vanguard with a GIMP build. Yeah, okay. I just went for Soldier
This is our
because,
chance.
as you'll
Vor has
learn
been
by
stripped of
this
his elite guard. He is vulnerable. Take him
this
out.
Warframe game, I'm a very simple man who usually can't fire effectively. So I just kind of run around this. I run around this level like waving my sword, hoping that people get intimidated and that they give up.
It's okay. That's why they make a 4-person party. So if 4 people do that, that's 4 times the area of space that the swords take up.
I could have saved the Grenier, but they cast
So
me
if you take a look at my gun right here, you see those mods in the middle?
out. Your divine
In the
So this is what my gun does.
oh right.
It shoots a shrapnel into the middle and then explodes into dozens and dozens of pieces, ripping them to shreds.
Okay. Of course, I'm just
Oh.
gonna go Leroy Jenkins on this.
Yeah. And
Leroy!
the game is made for
Sensors
that.
now. You've been detected.
For those of you, again, from either El Canoe stream or who are just joining us today, this is Warframe. This is a free to play game, and I can tell you from somebody who had a very low tech computer before, this game actually still looks very good and plays very well on lower end
Alarms have been
systems.
reset.
So if you
I will put you down.
if you're interested in this, if you kind of like games that sort of are fast paced, if you sort of like this third person shooter business, I can definitely say it's worth checking out. I think Yip and I were talking about this a little bit earlier, so this may be a blast from the past for some of you. But I kind of liken it to Diablo in the sense that, it's a little bit of furniture you put on in the background with your friends, and then you can just talk about what's going on during the day while you're chopping up the bad guys.
Yeah, once you get into late game, it's a lot of grinding.
Yeah.
So it's not a cup of tea for everyone, but I really enjoy that. Just some casual grinding. We have a Discord channel which is the In Chill. Warframe and Chill. Okay. Tenno and Chill.
Nice. Oh, actually, what I was meaning to ask you too, El Canoe, because you play in Verbis Virtus. I remember you sometimes say obey. I think it's obey El Canoe or something like that, and the spell cast. Now, is there an option to actually set what the words are, or was that just a wonderful coincidence? I wasn't quite sure because I started the game and I've done it with like the default language, so I haven't really gone that far. It's a coincidence. That's absolutely wonderful. Because like for those of you who are wondering what I'm talking about, like again, I've got this streamer I really like called El Canoe, and he's playing this game. Invertus Verbis is a really really cool idea for a game. You cast magic by speaking the spells.
Oh my god.
And so again,
That's
like
an awesome concept.
yeah, and I mean again because I'm I'm not completely like it's not that I find French incomprehensible, but definitely I'm very weak at the language. So sometimes I'm not clear whether or not something is a special name or something like that, or whether it's just a word I haven't heard yet. And so, it blows my mind that within the first couple of seconds, I hear, obey canoe. And all of a sudden, like something starts levitating. I'm like, oh my God, he has real life magic powers. So, but yeah, so they pointed out, apparently the writing is OBEEKEHNU, but it's I mean, that's such a wonderful. I mean, you can't write something as good as that. Like that just made my day when I saw that. And again, because El Canu just has a very great speaking style and a very good a good camera presence. He sells it so well. Like it's just a delight to watch him say it. I'm probably not doing justice when I say obey canoe, but it's you guys have got to watch it. If only
I
like
wonder if that comes in other languages.
well, I mean, there are other language options. Like I believe there's a localized version for people who don't want to learn like the crazy language they've developed for the game. But like, what's the fun in that, right? The whole point of of a game about casting ancient spells from grimoires is,
It also sounds like a very great language tutorial program that I would like to enlist in. Like
Alarm
interactive
successfully hacked. The location is
Rosetta
returned to normal
Stone.
security levels.
I love that
cast
actually.
spells in your own language now.
Yeah, I would like to get a coffee, please. Wrong! You can't get a coffee unless you work there. Can I have a coffee, please? Jesus.
You must summon the coffee. One simply cannot just have the coffee.
Oh, there's no French. Okay, so it's English and the weird language. I mean, I'd kind of like to see what English is like just for the sake of seeing what that experience is like. It's like, I mean, do they go for British? Do they go for like British English? Is pip pip what? Tea time, and like it boils water or something like that. But
Leviosa.
Leviosa. I still haven't read Harry Potter, but I
haven't
obviously
either.
everybody knows it. Okay. So we're exiting the level at some point, right? Or is there something
we're
else to
exiting
do?
the level now.
Okay,
We just basically went here to assassinate the guy that was talking to us. Because I think he was like talking shit about Lotus, and we're like, hey, we're not taking any of that. Also, he's trying to kill us. So we killed him instead.
Nice.
That's the TLDR.
They won't be bothering us.
TLDR version of the
Let's
missions.
get out.
I don't know. I just shoot stuff. I'm a simple man. I did 5% of the damage. Aren't I great?
So as we go through these missions, you're unlocking a bunch of different planets and nodes. So as we go on, we continue to unlock more planets where we can slot more things. The
Friends.
game doesn't really pick up in. I'm sorry. Go.
Sorry, I just want, especially after what Mishko 3 said, I want to let you know I don't have a problem at all if you guys speak French, especially because Elkano was so kind to host the stream. If you guys would like to talk amongst yourselves in French, that's completely fine. My only request on that would be is that if it's directed towards me, it's very likely that I will miss it. Normally when I read and speak French, I have some kind of aid with me, like whether it's a textbook or a dictionary or something like that. I do my best with what I see, and if I recognize it, I'll do my best to, ideally I'll respond in French to French statements. But because my French is so weak, the only thing I would say is that if it's directed to me, I'll miss it. But I have no language requirements whatsoever in the channel, and the only thing I can say is I miss out on the opportunity to engage in the same way with you guys. But I mean, I think it's a really generous thing that Elkanu did to host me tonight, and I think if you guys, Twitch is a social platform, right? It's one where we like it because of interactivity with each other, and in that case, I would feel I'd feel bad if you guys didn't have a chance to speak with each other, because I mean, again, English is so dominant on this platform. I think if you guys would like a place in which you can speak French, people who have that common background, please do feel free to do that. I have no problem, especially too because El Canu has been so kind. Whenever I can't express myself in French in the channel, he's addressed me in English, and I think that's very nice of him. When there aren't as many French options or any other language options other than English on Twitch as well. So if that's something I can do to to make the place more inviting, I'm happy to have you here. So in that case, I think it benefits the both of us. So please don't feel bad at all if you're writing French. Sorry, Yip. I wanted to make sure that Michiko was.
No, I'm here to learn some French.
Excellent.
This is an international friendly channel. It's good to know. If you ever need me to cast in Vietnamese, I won't, because I don't know that well enough.
The origin system is in chaos, and it needs you,
Oh, thank you so much for the follow. Yeah, no, I don't think it's invading the channel at all. We're doing something.
Seen that the Corvus have begun amassing weapons of their own. It is a dangerous time.
This isn't even like a normal cast for me. Like, this is just kind of me learning the stream, and I thought it would be fun. It would be fun to.
We will be at your side. There will be
Sorry,
others too.
I've got dialogue in the game going.
To return.
Mm-hmm.
So, what mission will you do next?
So yeah, the big thing for me would be that I don't feel it's invading with another language, because in the end, I mean, the biggest thing that I can say is I'll make weird references in my good friend Jesse Quill's channel or something like that, which only some of the people understand. It may be English, but it's a private joke amongst us. So in the end, I think it's basically the same thing. But yeah, no problem, guys. I'm really happy to have you here. And again, for those of you who followed, in fact, I haven't thanked some of you for following when you did originally, but all of you who have followed, I really appreciate that. We just hit a little bit past 600 followers the other night, and I wouldn't have done it without every single one of you. And it's always very humbling to know that you guys have hit that button and said that you'd like to know who. They'd like to know when I'm on. It means a lot, and I know there's lots of other really good options on the platform. So, okay, yep. I keep saying that I'm done, and then I always have new stuff to to say. So,
no, that's all right.
But yeah, I don't know. It's neat. I mean, again, I feel a little bit bad being a bit infrequent in my streaming, and now I'm doing sort of this very selfish stream for me where I'm getting you to guide me through this game a little bit, but it's kind of cool. And if because it's a free to play game, if people get a chance to check it out, if they like what they see, I think that's maybe a bonus. So thank you, Okano.
Yeah, one of the content, the beauty of Warframe is that nothing is made to be inaccessible behind a paywall. So all things are, you can either grind it out or trade for it, unless it's super aesthetics, which has no effect on the actual gameplay. Then it will be behind platinum, which you can still get from trading.
Okay.
By trading the plat, obviously.
Gotcha.
Yeah, one of the things that deter me a lot from the free to play is that they're crutched by their buy to win mechanics a lot of times.
Yes.
And this game is kind of fed from those shackles in a very interesting and dynamic way that they haven't really steered away from, which I know a lot of small companies begin to go into that direction once they get bigger. But they've seemed to stay very loyal and true to its fans.
Yeah, I noticed when I first played this game, it had
analyze the intelligence profiles of the Grenier.
it had a lot of options. I saw that there was a bunch of
Did the operator enjoy this witticism?
I think maybe the one thing that I was a little bit worried about was I picked one Warframe, and I didn't have any other options to go between them. So it's okay, well, this completely arbitrary choice I made at the start of the game seems to have decided where I'm going. But then of course I realized it's just a matter of playing in the game to to see sort of what your other options are. And chances are, you know, I'm not. I mean, it would be better if I just focus on Warframe to get on one Warframe to get the basics down, and then through the process of like learning the game, I'm going to get enough credits to upgrade it. So I think it's a very fair system. Which again, always
You're not
kind
very
of.
far from another frame, or like dozens and dozens of other weapons too.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah, I mean the big one too is that I'm always a little bit worried about pay models like that because I want the developer to do well so I can keep playing games. But hey Ewok, great to see you again. Let me just take a second here. Ewok Fuzzy Nuts is another caster on Team Panda. This is the stream team I'm affiliated with through through Seriously Clara, a partnered Twitch streamer. I met Ewok originally playing Minecraft, but I know him through his Diablo 3 streams most recently, and occasionally he will do Elite Dangerous, that game that I haven't quite been able to see the appeal of. All right, sorry. Shall we go on another mission?
Yeah, sure. If you have no mission activated, you can just go to your codex, which is to your left when you look at the navigation. Some of a different segment that we installed into it. So you go to your codex and you go into,
oh, here we
go. I think, quests at the top.
There we go. Once Awake is the new one.
Quest is open for you.
Nice. Once Awake, intercepted Grineer communications reveal that Grineer have been experimenting with some sort of bioweapon. You must investigate. Man, I keep forgetting how good looking this game is. Alright.
Alright, if you click the begin, it'll automatically track in every single time you go through navigation.
Okay. And looks like we're on Mercury, spy mission, faction Grineer, level 5 or 6, and investigate the bioweapon. Oh, wait a minute. You said to look at cool stuff. If I go above my navigation, I need to look up, and I get to see the guy. Oh,
yeah, just look up. You don't need to go into navigation. Just stand in front of it and look up. And the
lens
amount
flares.
of detail that they put into is mind blowing, and it changes when you go from planet to planet.
Oh, that's a nice touch.
Yeah.
I of course am looking at all the lens flares because this is the world we live in. Lens flares for days. But yeah, it's a nice looking game. Ewok, I played Warframe before. I think I never stopped playing it because I didn't like it. It was more so that I just got busy with other things. So I like it. I mean, again, I usually actually like shooter style stuff, but the only thing I notice is with the melee weapon, as much as I like doing melee, it's a really kinetic, it's a really fun, fast-paced game, but that translates to me just, flinging my weapon about inefficiently and just trying to intimidate through fancy displays rather than actually connecting. But it's good stuff. And Ewok, Elkanu is also a Twitch streamer, so he is French-speaking, but he's a really, really talented caster, and I would strongly recommend dropping a follow for him if you're so inclined. I'm hesitant to give the introduction again, just because he was mentioning that it was bringing a blush to his cheeks, and it is not my intention to be overly, I don't know. I don't want to be too much of a fanboy, but I really like watching his channel, and I definitely want to get as many people supporting him as I can. Bumpaneko, thank you so much for stopping by. It is very easy to be nice, especially with nice people like yourself inside the chat. And you know what? You've been in the chat before, and I didn't make the connection with Elkanu until just now. So thank you very much for stopping by, not just tonight, but on the other nights as well. It means a lot that you're stopping by and checking out the stream. So have a wonderful night. I hope I get a chance to see you again in either stream, and have a great one.
So in this mission, they're introducing you to a new mission type called
Okay.
spies.
All
There are
right.
3 data nodes that we need to find our way into without being detected.
Okay. So I probably shouldn't be just
So-
running into the guys like I did like I
My
did there.
scans are not
How I
detecting any
interpret
known
that
biochemical
is
agents.
if no
What are
one
they
sees
doing down
you,
here?
they're dead. Does the tree really fall when everyone's dead? Basically. So that's one way of doing it besides stealth. So how I usually approach it is I just bulldoze my way through it.
Right.
So if you can just run towards one of the nodes and have our hack our way through it. So you'll see that once we get here, the first terminal, we very similar to the Corpus. This is the Grenier version of the hack. So if you get into this
Oh,
one right
this
here,
thing.
yeah, this one actually.
Game, please. Oh, yeah.
The target console is nearby. If you trigger the alarms now,
You can start the hack
the
from
enemy
there,
will start
and
destroying
it
data.
opens up a kind of a jumping puzzle that we go through.
I love jumping puzzles ever since Half-Life, and I kept falling to my death because I didn't estimate the proper distance between the crates.
Yeah, it's really fun to actually figure this out, and it gets really complicated at higher levels. But I can show you the first one if you like.
Actually, the one thing that's nice about this one is just the style. All right, let's see you do this.
You have to bullet jump through it.
Bullet jump through it.
Remember? Yep.
So it's a slide and a...
Slide into a jump.
Gotcha.
You launch yourself across the screen.
Okay.
That's how you do it.
Game, please! Oh my god! No!
If you aim up a little bit,
Yeah.
bullet jump, then jump again. So
Is the
Zin
game
has,
taking pity on me?
graciously-
Is it saying, "Oh God"? It's like, here, look, that was embarrassing. I don't want to ever see something like that again. System Shock. Here's a cart for you.
No, Zin actually did us the courtesy of hacking the outside system that would lift up these carts for us as we go through. So we get through this door by hacking into this terminal here.
Okay.
So for those bad at jumping, you better be good at hacking.
What if I'm bad at both? Consider Call of Duty.
There's a lot of salt left for you for the
extracted.
population in the
They
stream,
won't
so
even
it's
know it's
alright.
gone.
And then this door opens, and then we exit, and we go to the C, B, and C. So each of the letter will be a different puzzle.
Gotcha. Oh right, not all the bad guys agree with each other, so they're gonna attack each other. I keep forgetting. That's a really... I like that touch when they do it in games.
Away from the specimens.
Destroy them. Dr. Tengus demands absolute secrecy.
Nico, I don't know if this is for consoles. Do you know offhand, Yip, if this is a console game as well, or is it PC only?
Yes, this is a console game. I think it's I don't know, at the very least, it's
We've
on
been locked
the
out. Let's
PS4.
override the security.
Console games typically get their launch a little bit slower than the PC because there's just a bigger team working for the PCs.
Right.
But there are exclusive content specifically
Alarms
for the
successfully
PC
hacked.
and
The
for the
location is
PS4.
returning to
So
normal
that's
security levels.
some encouragement for that. Typically, the PC gets newer updates quicker. Because I believe there's a system that the PS4 needs to go through, but they play very differently, with very different community and very different market system. So it's not just like a duplicate of each other. So in this mission here, they introduced a new faction to
You're
us called
nearing
the
the
Infested.
console.
Okay.
Trigger the
They're
alarms now,
basically
and they
a
will start
hive
destroying
mind
data.
virus that infects the corpus and the Grenier and kind of like infects their bodies and morphs them into like really ugly things that are attacking us
Gotcha.
at the moment. You'll find out later that they're sentient. That's all I'll say about that, but there's a huge plot twist.
Alarms.
I just set off an
Instructions in
alarm.
it.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. So when the alarm sets off, we need to run to the hacking consoles and get to the data before they purge the information.
You got
Gotcha.
it. The data is still intact.
Thank you. Okay.
Who released the specimens?
And once that's hacked, we can exit.
They're out! What's going on?
Well,
Stop the
that does
infested.
nothing.
Forget the Tenno.
Infested? This shouldn't be possible. Tenno, it is more important than ever that you finish your mission. We need to know what is going on here.
Also, for those of you new to this game in chat, you only need look at the uniforms to tell how long each of us have been playing.
We made this game so you can decorate everything, and I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
It brings the Sims out of me.
The Sims Warframe. I like it.
And now we have one console left to hack. And probably when we're done hacking it, we're gonna kill a lot of things. Per usual.
Oh wait, the console's at the lower level. My bad.
It takes a little bit getting used to the minimap UI.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm gonna plummet to my death again!
They're very forgiving about missing the jumps because one of the things that they really want to emphasize
You're
is the
on the
gameplay
sensors now. You've been
and
detected.
how dynamic and mobile it is.
Oh wait, I've done this jumping puzzle before. Well, not. I guess it's not really a puzzle, but oh, and Elkino, you wrote something so nice in chat. I want to read it out for everybody, but
Alarms have been reset.
I'll just wrap up this mission and I'll give it the attention that it deserves. Well, the secret is I don't have a cam, so nobody will really know if I've blushed reading it. I think I would love to have a cam on my stream, but I also know if Jessie Quill were to ever find out about this, she would abuse the this information as much as possible.
That's when you know you have a true friend. There's something vulnerable and possibly embarrasses your friend. Yeah, exploit it.
All right. So Elkanu writes, by the way, System Chalk, I've got some for you as well now. I must say that you really like I really like your voice and that your mic and the mic presence you have. Plus the fact that you are a very humble man makes your cast a very nice one. It's a pity that I can only watch you over the weekend. Damn you, time zones. Elkanu hopes that System Chalk blushes too now. Yeah, I mean, Elkanu, that is extremely high praise coming from a caster who I very deeply respect, and I really love watching the show. I'm a bit lucky in that I am a teaching, like my job right now is a teaching assistant at the university I study at. So
Excellent work.
students tend not to want to stop by my office hours unless they have a test they study for. So sometimes I will, you know, I'll be stuck in an office and nobody's around, so it actually coincides very well with your cast time, which is why I'm sometimes able to watch it during weekdays.
They want them to destroy you.
But yeah, I also have a friend who's actually currently studying at the Paris School of Economics, and I appreciate the time zone quite a bit. So it's really cool that you're able to make it on the weekends, and I actually think with that in mind, I'm trying to look at something that'll work well for my streaming schedule, so that gives me a reason to keep at least one weekday stream in. Oh, sorry, weekend stream. But yeah, so it's again, I don't know what to say. It's an incredibly sweet comment from you, and again, especially considering the source, it's extremely high praise coming from a caster who I have a very great respect for. Oh, I'm going the wrong way, aren't I? Also, it's really nice that you get to see how bad I am at video games.
Once you get the muscle memory, I think this game
Oh yeah, I mean, as
Well executed.
beautiful.
soon as I like finally put in the time on this game, I'm gonna look like such a pro. because this game, like all the animations, make everything look so stylish.
Yeah.
It's just that because I'm a complete clown, like I just wind up looking like a 5-year-old playing swords with his friends.
Emergency situation developing. It's more infested.
There's an
Mentally
art in
know
that.
I've marked on your
Nico needs to get
navigation
some rest.
console.
Glad to meet you. I shall see you on another day of time. I really appreciate Nico 12313. Again, it's so wonderful to have you guys stopping by in the channel, and not just stopping by, but staying. I've always said that the real appeal of Twitch is that it's an interactive broadcast medium. It's about people. And I never cease to be amazed about the quality of people who I meet here. So it was a pleasure having you in the cast. I look forward to seeing you again and again, both being entertained by the great Elknu, and if I get a chance to see you in here while I'm busy making questionable decisions, it'll be great to see you there as well. Have a great night, and I hope you have a very restful sleep.
Oh,
All right.
I also haven't explained that in each frame, we also have different abilities. Each frame has very different stats as well, and you activate them using 1, 2, 3, or 4.
That's
and
right.
They consume energy.
I've got like
so you can definitely try those out.
I've got like a dash and like a slash, I think, is the Excalibur, right?
Yeah. So the 1 is you dash into them, and it does an X amount of damage, and it does it damages everything that you go through. And then I think number 2 is our blind. So in a radius, it blinds all the enemies.
Okay.
And then number 3 is in a radius, it impales everyone with a sword. An ethereal sword. Ethereal sword.
I mean, clearly the System Shock way of doing things is just mash buttons down on the keyboard, yell at the developers for not making the game easier, and then and then just seeing what happens.
Then you have not visited the forums. There are many System Shocks out there.
All right, let's do another one for Once Awake. I also didn't appreciate that there was lore behind the different races in this game. That's actually kind of cool to know. I just thought it was really interesting monster design, like when you have the guys with those big helmets on, and
there's a achievement for each headshot, each helmet that you shoot off. I think when you get to like 1,000, it's like hats off.
That's cool. Yeah, I like normally when I play games like these, I always try to go with headshots. So when I ran into them, I'm like, oh wait, they're protected there. So.
And you have to shoot them, and there's an animation for them like flipping off on how you like decapitate them. They really get into the physics of the slaughter.
Exterminate everything on board before it reaches a more populated sector.
These are the
Here's a good chance to.
Yeah, these are really effective ways to use your melee weapon because they will always run at you.
Gotcha.
Almost like 80% of the infested, they don't really use guns. Range attacks, really.
Maniac.
The Grenier may have thought they could toy around
Get off the road!
but they are quickly learning how wrong they
Trying
were.
to, just trying to get back to the good old LA Noire days. Hey, no worries, Ewok Poisey Nuts. I know the feeling because there's so many hours I've spent in your stream on like the tablet, and as much as I love complaining about Elite Dangerous, the feeling's just not quite the same when I'm typing on a mobile device. Want to try Warframe, but the people you've met that play it put you off for the game. Well, please, Ewok, don't let my vicious temperament and foul language keep you from enjoying this fine Canadian game. International game, sorry. We now have a Chinese team.
Initially Canadian.
Initially Canadian.
I think they have a dev stream every single week, and it's from the Canadian office.
Nice. Do you know where they're based? Are they Montreal, or it can't be Vancouver? Well, they could be Vancouver.
I have actually no idea. I'll look that up for you right now. Protect me.
I may or may not be protecting you right now. Wow, your
I
character can just take
have-
punishment. Kidding.
Oh, they're taking applications.
Are they looking for people who can do economics?
Possibly.
We thought
Usually,
infested
for
by
people who are doing like
Oregon. For hundreds of years, there
microtransactions,
was
stuff like
nothing.
that, look for
Now
for
this.
data scientist
Where did
types.
the
But
Premier find these creatures?
Ontario.
Ontario, okay. So, I guess it doesn't say the city.
London.
Waterloo, London. Okay, cool.
Then the east or in the west. I have
I
no
don't-
idea about Canadian geography.
Yeah, I don't quite know where it is in relation to the province of Ontario, but I know Waterloo is like the big tech center, so that's where like BlackBerry and all that are located.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, that's also where the University of Waterloo is. So, I mean, it's kind of like the Canadian MIT, basically. Like that's where you go if you want to learn computer science.
Oh, sweet.
It's maybe not. I should say like MIT is also really good for economics. So like arguably the best economist alive right now, Darren Asimoglu, is at MIT, and then they've got like Josh Angrist and all these really great guys. So MIT is just an amazing school to be at. Period. But obviously,
Yeah.
its reputation is for
Tech.
yeah, for tech.
Their philosophy program is pretty high up there too. I think it's like top 5 in the U.S.
Yeah,
and
I mean
like top 15 in the internationally.
it sort of seems like that. Like once you get to that tier of university, they sort of just seem to be dominating everything. So like for instance, Princeton would be amazing to go for economics because there's a couple of political economy guys there, and they've got this is a poli-sci thing that they do, but that thesis I wrote on like the drone strikes and all of that, a lot of the data that I used came from their ESOC project,
Mission complete.
Empirical Studies of
Excellent
Conflict.
work, Tenno.
So it's just like obviously it's an environment that would work really well.
Yeah, it's like a thing about institutional education is that it's very cyclical, right?
Yeah.
So once you invest in like the infrastructure, it just generates more bright minds that would generate more bright minds.
Yeah.
And it leaves very little resources for like small universities to just pop up. So they would have to exist in a different platform.
Yeah.
So I think I don't think it's a coincidence that the top universities is also one of the first universities.
Mhm. Well, also too, a really unique case would be what is sometimes referred to as the magic zip code in the case of economics, because you've got Harvard and MIT so close to each other, in Cambridge, Massachusetts, and
The Lotus would like you to
I mean,
install that mod as soon as now.
Harvard's kind of been getting their lunch eaten by Stanford. Like some of their really like their
Yeah.
superstar faculty
Because
have just
California is getting there.
yeah.
But with the recent like demographic changes, and the actual geographical changes of like the Earth, I do feel like there's a decline in the California stock of students
Mm.
with the avoidance of like their droughts and earthquakes in general, uneasiness of the politics.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing too is, especially for San Francisco, it's such an expensive city to live in. I mean, like when faculty get hired at Stanford, part of their compensation package are actually favorable terms on loans for houses, because like at this point, like you're competing with all of these .com, millionaires and billionaires for a house, and like Stanford Graduate School of Business is like one of the top positions that you could get, anywhere. And like in any field, they don't just do business people. I mean, there's some people who do econ, there's some people who do psychology. They've even hired some political scientists. But it's really hard to say that it's a very good placement if like you get there and your entire paycheck just goes into paying for the house that you had to outbid Larry and Sergey Brin or Larry Page and Sergey Brin to get. Anyways.
Yeah, I've seen a couple. So a couple of my friends, they majored in comp sci and had like they're geniuses, right?
Hmm.
But one of the things that they found when they first started working is that there's a premium on what you said, the magic zip code.
Hmm.
Is they can get X amount of money for working. They were offered a place in Boston, in Rhode Island, in California, and in Oregon, and like various cities within it. Um, the then that amount changes based on like where it's subsidized, so it makes like a very huge sense on like how much of an
We are
incentive
going to
that
attempt to use
becomes,
a cascade
because if they
bomb to
lived in
destroy all
like San
traces of infested
Francisco,
here.
where
All
a
will
lot of
take
the,
time
like you
to
said,
arm.
.com companies,
Protect it until
like
it's ready for detonation.
I saw some of the prices. Yeah, 80% of um their paycheck will go to like just living standards, not even like just living, just to meet the standard of living there
Yeah.
at a very base level is ridiculous. Like
Yeah.
they'll be making like, I'm dropping like 80 grand starting, right?
Yeah.
If not more. But based on where they're living, that's pretty low.
Yeah, I
Because
mean,
like
this is also like a thing that they're talking about a lot in Vancouver as well, which is, we're obviously a very expensive city now, and some people are saying it's like,
we're number
we're
one actually in the
really.
world.
Oh wow,
Yep.
don't I
At
feel
least that's what
special?
Google told me.
That's what Google. Okay. And who am I to argue with Google? um, but some people are saying it's kind of like New York, where it's like there's just this finite amount of land. We've reached this peak, and it's just going to be naturally that prices increase this way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to find out which one of these fancy ass abilities will get me the reward. Which is fair enough.
Really good if you're surrounded.
3 is good if it's surrounded. Good to hear.
Yeah. Huge damage loadout in the AoE.
Gotcha.
So why is it that Vancouver is the most expensive city to live in?
So I mean,
Is it because of it's very tech oriented? Does it attract a lot of like
These creatures
high
appear to be
class that
mindless
raises the
monsters,
living
but they know
standards?
we're up to something, and
So-
we're
What is
trying
it?
to stop
one blame. And by the way, for all of this, you are hanging out in chat. Yeah, sorry, we're going to be talking about living costs in various geographies now, while we're shooting enemies.
Away with that.
No, I mean everybody's signing up for a stream with an economist, for crying out loud. It's bound to happen. This isn't just a Crusader Kings 2 thing. This is an everything thing.
Economics and chill.
Yeah. But yeah, so one thing that people are blaming on the raising house prices is speculation from investors, particularly Chinese speculation. So one of the origins of the increased demand for housing in Vancouver was the transfer of Hong Kong from Britain to China. A bunch of people worried that China would sort of behave as it had historically, and just be generally unfriendly to the business environment. Now that's not necessarily true. I mean, obviously,
Undercutting?
well, not just
Or-
undercutting, but like the just being able to seize assets, or I mean, I think was it Baidu learned to its sort of its detriment that if the Chinese government wants to enter a particular industry,
Yeah.
you're kind of out of luck. They'll
Mhm.
they won't have any problems restricting. And then I mean, there's obviously the worries of things like Tiananmen Square and all of that. Like there's, especially too at the time, I think it was like '97 that transfer occurred.
Yeah, so there's a lot of
Yeah.
like forbidding messages in that, but realistically speaking, you enter any country can have that title, like
Yeah.
this country's effect on its entrance to the market. It's
Yeah.
just really foreboding because we have a very negative association with that X country.
Yeah. So one way or the other, it doesn't even, I was going to say, like, even any of the claims on China can be false, and it still works for me, because it's like, as long as people believe it, they're going to behave behave in the way as if it were true. So this means that if people are afraid of this game didn't look fun to you when it first came out, but you heard that it changed a bunch after it released. Should give it a shot. I'm enjoying it, Bishna. And I think Yip is probably a good indicator in terms of what it was like at the start as opposed to now.
It's improved dramatically, Bishna. Like in the year that I've been playing this game, and I have like about 2,000 hours in this game, they've generated huge amount of lore content with, you know, there's also a lot of filler content as well, but just within the last 3 months, they've like completely, I think, changed the game in terms of its dynamic, its how they cater to the audience, and how they really shape the narrative of the game. I'd say give it a shot just to try the newer content too.
Yeah, you get what you pay for. No, it's definitely. I was gonna say, like, there's
free. Yes, correct.
Yeah. There's no cost to giving this game a try, especially when they release a big new update. So in my opinion, I think people, unless they just know this is not a style of game that they enjoy, like if it's, I mean, like I have a friend who's just outright opposed to gun violence, even in video games. So I'm not going to recommend Warframe to them, obviously. And you know, for somebody who prefers strategy games, I'm not necessarily saying that Warframe is going to tickle you in your strategic nerve. It's not XCOM, that's for sure. But I definitely like action-packed stuff, and I think this game does a good job of making, you know, cool stuff very easy to do.
And I really like to echo what you said earlier about comparing it, your allusion to it being like Diablo 2. It's very Diablo 2-esque. You can sink hundreds of hours into this just to grind out the gear.
Right.
Just because it feeds some kind of serotonin loop in the brain. It makes you feel really good when you know, finally get the loot. You know, pray to RNGesus.
Yeah. I'll return to property speculation in Vancouver, because I know you asked. Hey, Joshy man, good to see you again. So on the point of Vancouver housing prices, you do have that migration from Hong Kong, which is raising demand for Vancouver real estate. I mean, again, it's not that this is the only city they could go to, but in this case, it has a number of desirable features that people wanted. People are making some estimates that there's Chinese speculation driving up the price of properties. So in this case, it would be.
What was the time frame of this? So we're talking 30 years ago, 20 years ago, now.
The property speculation, we'd say, is more contemporary.
Okay.
And the idea here is just, you know, Chinese investors are looking for places to put that money. The opportunities in China are not very good, potentially because there's oversupply of housing or you know, any set of reasons for which somebody may not want to invest in their own country. And in the case, so this is, I mean, there's two ways of looking at this, which is that the Vancouver market could be in a bubble, which means that the prices are rising because they're rising, that everybody sort of thinks there's going to be somebody who pays a higher price in the future for maybe no reason other than the fact that's always been the case. So in that case, at some point, that's, you know, where you kind of wait for the bubble to pop.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of pop bubbles in the U.S. No worries.
But that may not be the case. I mean, I've got a friend, actually we were debating about this quite vigorously. And like he, you know, so originally he was talking about Chinese speculation driving up the prices. And, you know, I said, it's like, well, you know, fine. But I was like, I put it to him this way. I says, like, you know, it does create a problem for like me. My rent is high. But like, if we're economists and we want to think about it, you know, okay, let's consider society as a whole, what's happening, you know, in the broad level. It's like, okay, so let's say that, you know, it's a pure speculative bubble, that these houses are being bought at values that exceed their intrinsic value, right? So it's not just the value of the property that's gone up, but it's, you know, the prices people are paying contain some speculative component, like what happened in the States. I said, isn't it better that foreign investors are buying this and that, you know, we're exchanging these values that are worth less than what they're paying for and we get to keep their money? Like, we should be happy about this, right? Because we can just turn around and take that money and put it towards better use for us. And they says, but no, the problem is that, you know, we have a finite amount of land and, like, you know, it's going up because it is actually worth that. Not a problem, El Canoe, especially because now we're talking about like really obscure Canadian. I mean, Yip is not Canadian, but we're talking about pretty arcane material. So if you need some sleeping aids,
I'm really
we're
interested in where you
yeah.
live and its dynamics, you know?
Yeah. But yeah, have a great sleep, El Canoe. Thank you so much for that host. I really appreciate it. It was great to see more people from your chat stop by. I should have done my best to find my textbook. But I have a very wonderful evening, and I really look forward to your next cast. So, guys, again, I want to take a minute. I know I already shouted him out, but please do consider giving El Canoe a shot. He plays a wonderful set of games. He's a wonderful caster. The only thing is that it is in French. That matters. It doesn't matter at all to me. It is a fun cast to watch, independent of whether or not you understand the language. And I'll shut up. Otherwise, he's not going to get to bed. So have a great one, El Canoe. And again, thank you so much for your support tonight. So this idea of speculative demand. So then, he turns around and he says, well, it's not just a bubble. It's, this is the actual price of the housing. And then I say, it's like, okay, well, now we need to ask the questions like, how do we appropriately distribute resources, right? Do we, do we institute rent control? That happened in New York, and the result wasn't quite what people had intended.
No, it just create like gentrification process.
Exactly. I'm not saying that, we ignore it. I'm not like Republican, right? I'm not going to say, just deregulate everything and it gets fixed. But, we have some examples of how people try and answer this livability question. And sometimes the answers aren't ones that ultimately help the people that they're intended to support. So, in one case, I sort of told...
That's happened in Boston currently, right now, actually.
Oh, really?
Especially during the rise of when Boston was trying to make the bid for the Olympics.
Right.
There was a huge uproar by the local community, though it was hugely supported by, like, the community outside of the radius that it affects.
Mm-hmm.
But I won't get too much into that, but that seems to be, like, analogous to what you're saying.
Yeah. Yeah, like, again, from my perspective for econ, like, in the end, we're dealing with the question. I mean, first of all, we're dealing with individuals. And then we're sort of dealing with individuals in the face of, unlimited wants and needs, and, finite resources with which to satisfy them. And I mean, some people say, well, do people really have unlimited demand? And I'm like, well, if you consider, I mean, actually the prof I'm TAing for put this very well. He says, if you consider quality, yeah, right? Like, in terms of food, right? What do we need? Well, like 2,000 calories of gruel. I don't, I don't want that. I want a 4K, 70-inch monitor. I want it. But, is that a need?
Economics.
Yeah. So, and this is the big one. Actually, I really stress this with my students in lecture when I get a chance, is that I says, like, I'm not here to indoctrinate you, right? Like, I can't tell you, based on this stuff that we're discussing here, who you should vote for. All that I can really offer you is a framework for looking at these questions. And, hopefully when somebody makes a claim to you, you're going to turn around and say, what assumptions were required for that claim to be the case? And then we, and then we move on and say, okay, let's see whether or not this actually lines up with, with reality. I mean, not everybody always appreciates, because I always get like one or two people who come in and say, oh, well, Marx says X, Y, or Z. I'm like, I like Marx, don't get me wrong. Like, I actually have...
It's very beneficial in my experience to suspend this idea that people have where they hinder their ability to think about an idea when they don't suppose A, B, and C just to see X, Y, and Z in a theoretical sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's one of the primary steps you need to take in order to explore an idea is to explore it in a theoretical. So when you're going to hinder that by saying that's not realistic, I don't see how that applies to a fictional situation we're making up, where that's a non-factor. We're literally saying let's suspend what is the reality and create a hypothetical where we can explore the consequences without actually making the choice. So that's like something like I really hate when people, under the guise of misusing devil's advocate, to shut down a conversation.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'll play devil's advocate for keeps, but it's only just so.
Oh, you want to go? You want to go?
Well, yeah, it's like the whole purpose of it is just to say it's like I want to make sure that when we're going to have a discussion that, you know, each side is represented as strongly as it can be. Now, sometimes, I mean, I don't always like taking. So the big thing is I never want to do that to take a side for the sake of saying something different. I think that's not the right way to go about it. But on the other hand, to say it's like, okay, well, I like the Liberal Party of Canada. You like the Liberal Party of Canada. You know, neither one of us are going to say that the Conservatives and the NDP should be the government, but maybe let's assume that we don't have all the right answers. And that's kind of the purpose of devil's advocate. That's a very different kind of conversation.
Yeah, as opposed to the derailing habits that happen.
Well, I mean, it's stuff like, you know, when people do charity streams or like ask for donations on a stream or something like that, and you have somebody say something like, you know, oh, but there's starvation in Africa. I'm like, you know, like, first of all, Africa is not this gaping wound of sorrow, like, for you to invoke whenever you want to play the hipster card on people. And, you know, that next of all, you know, so aside from the fact that, you know, they very clearly are not invoking Africa because they really have some great humanitarian desire for the country.
No, it's a huge exploitations that render from racist stereotypes, because Africa is literally like 3 times the size of the U.S. at least.
Yeah. Well, and more importantly, too, like Africa's a continent, so I'm not entirely sure you can say starvation in Africa, you know, as opposed to an individual one. Mishko 03.
So they're not saying a full statement. That's why it's a problematic too. You know. Yes.
Yeah.
That's not a wrong statement.
Yeah.
You're not
thank
specific. You don't create the parameters.
Yeah. Thanks a lot for stopping by. I know once I start getting into the heavy dialogue and that, it's a good kind of transition point for some of the people who are out here later. Thank you so much. And I'll say that to everybody too, who's probably going to call it for tonight. I think we'll probably do one more mission with Yip, but I was also going to ask him how I get to the next mission. But I do want to take a minute and say thank you very much for hanging out. I hope I get a chance to see you again. We'll be playing something a little bit more conventional for this stream. But I don't want to go too far out without saying thank you for stopping by and showing your support tonight. It was a lot of fun. Sorry, yeah. Actually, let's if you don't mind, I'll load up the next mission just so we can have some activity while we do it. Now it looks like the Codex mission is done. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's free roam until you unlock the planet of Venus.
Okay.
So this is like time to level up or do whatever missions on whatever planets that we'd like. So in order to unlock one of the nodes, we just go to a planet and select a non-bolded or a bolded node, and then we just complete it, and then it unlocks all the adjacent nodes.
Okay, nice.
It'll make more sense when you open the navigation.
I missed the full name. It was full something. Thank you very much for that follow. I definitely appreciate it, especially because I'm talking about some arcane material. So I wasn't quite clear. So we clicked on the navigation, and we're looking for. You said something bolded, like it's not this symbol that's bouncing.
Yeah, just go to your navigation, click on any of the planets you'd like to play.
Okay. Is there any reason why I should pick one over another?
No, just preference. At this point, it's pretty much free roam. But in order to continue, I'd recommend finishing Venus.
Okay.
But we're actually at a great place right now because you just finished your 2 pretty much introductory missions, and this is where you hit like they've told you everything that you need to know to start the game, and now you just do your own thing.
Okay, cool.
That's the phase of the game you're at right now, so it's actually pretty good.
Cool. Now, I think my options here, I've got Neruda, which will open up the Caduceus sector, And I've also got Boethus, which seems that it will open up Odin. So I guess it doesn't really matter which one.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's do Sabotage. But yeah, so we were talking about, this idea of shutting down dialogue and that. It's like, it's not to say that, obviously poverty in the world is an important, point of discussion, but very clearly when somebody brings that up on a streamer who's asking for donations, I mean, number one, it's kind of paternalistic to tell everybody in the channel, it's like, I know what's best for your money, right? I'm going to let you know that you can't donate to this channel. I'm like, thanks, I can decide that for myself.
Yeah, it's a certain entitlement too. I have a problem with. But aside from that.
Yeah. I mean, again, I also don't like the insincerity of like, trying to take on this humanitarian
You're on the sensors.
Cause
Been detected.
for the sake of, for the sake of like shutting down somebody else. I mean, in the end, all that this is saying is that, I don't like seeing other people make money, which is fine. Like, that's a completely understandable behavior because there's so many people who do that. But, I'm not going to say that they're doing anything noble. Like, they're jealous and, I can't necessarily blame them because it's something that a lot of people do. But like, congratulations, you've now expressed how utterly average you are by saying you're mad that somebody else has achieved some degree of success on Twitch. It's a shame because like obviously there's so much more that people can be talking about. But yeah, so as far as the Vancouver housing price thing went, so whether it's speculative or whether it's the actual just the finiteness of the land that we have, I think it is a combination of the two. That in the end, there's only so much, space in Vancouver because there's just so many mountains and stuff like that. It's definitely a very desirable place to live. There's lots of parks and just a nice sort of. It's a nice environment to live in.
Temperate weather.
Yeah, I mean it's not perfect, but it's like I like going to parks and I like walking around and and experiencing.
It seems to be fairly international in terms of its like residents.
Yeah.
At least from the picture that the Canadians have posted of their foods, from what I collected.
Yeah. Obviously, advertising material will try to show things the best that they can, but yeah, it's definitely a very multicultural society. It's like one of these things that even if we don't like, it's not even a matter of belief. It's just one of these things like we're the Manchurian Candidate. We just kind of stand up and recite Canada as a multicultural society, like whether we believe it or not.
It's very. I realize how like blindsided that comment was.
Yeah, but I was gonna say like it's true. Like there's a lot of different groups. Canada's population shrinks if we don't include immigration. So we rely on it. I will come help you with door. But yeah, it's just like I always whenever I hear this sort of stuff that you always hear Canadians say. I always like to kind of point out when I'm sort of quoting, let's say, the party line. Even if it's true, you want to at least acknowledge that there's a certain degree of I don't know, marketing. That's the way to say it, maybe.
Another job well executed.
But yeah, I mean, it's a place where a lot of people understandably want to live, and
Heck, I want to live there.
and I mean, as demand increases, there's only so much supply that I mean, there's constraints on supply because of our geography. And so it sort of makes sense that there will be high property valuations. And then, I mean, in the end, we just want to make sure that, like, the big thing for me is if I consider Twitch streamers, right? Like, if you wanted to make a living as a Twitch streamer, the best thing that you could do is like find the most rural area that you can live in that still gets a good internet connection, and like do that, because of course the amount that you're going to make will be the same regardless of your location, right? The reason why people subscribe is not, there's no connection with your geography. But obviously the lower you can make your living costs, the costs of casting go down, right? You know, your rent, if you...
So it's the most controllable aspect of the situation we laid out.
Yeah, because like, you know, obviously if you want your games to look awesome, you're going to need to put some money inside of, you know, you're going to want to put some money inside of your rig, right? Like,
Well,
you can't...
that's assuming if you're competing for the same pool of people too. There's, you know, some things to say about like which audience you go after, but you know, that's I don't think that's within the situation we painted.
Yeah, and I mean, like, all things obviously I should say this, all things being equal, because clearly, you know, if I don't put the like, if I'm comparing, let's say,
The asterisks.
Yeah. Well, like, I'm just thinking, like, you know, I could put snowplow drivers, you know, compared to Twitch streamers in Vancouver. Like, a snowplow driver doesn't have an option of leaving Vancouver. Like, you can't do snow plowing for Vancouver in Texas. So like, clearly that's you know, that's not a situation I can talk about, but streaming definitely is, you know, again, assuming a certain style of stream. I mean, obviously all that you really need is something that can encode video, and you just play, you know, strategy games like I did for so long. But yeah, it's, you know, I think definitely like your living costs are something that just wind up eating into such a large... I mean, the big tragedy of it is like, when I consider Vancouver and all of the really smart people that I know here, and I mean a lot of people that I know from the university, these are people that presumably you would want inside of your city if you wanted, you know, a flourishing environment for, you know, good ideas and you know, kind of the next generation of entrepreneurs or you know, employees of those people. But you know, the fact that the cost of living is so high, these are likely going to be people who wind up moving somewhere else, and as a result, they take their good ideas and the tax revenues for those good ideas elsewhere.
Yeah, that's what's the situation you just described is happening to like my age bracket, my cohorts. Like, they're entering the market right now, and they're making that decision where they're going to take a lower paying job to work elsewhere because it's economically makes more sense to them.
Yeah. Now, completely unrelated to economic issues, I know you are dealing with inclement weather, to put it mildly. And I was kind of planning, as far as Warframe was concerned, to get at least 2 hours in. So I'll put it to you. I don't mind going any further. I don't mind going further. But I've also got some other stuff that I can stream, and then I know, I won't say with who, but we were talking about possibly another co-cast a little bit later tonight with somebody. So if you'd like to wrap it up at this point, I'm okay with that. But if you'd also like to keep playing, I don't want to just kick you out of the stream, because it's been a lot of fun, and it's been educational. I know I'm going to be putting a little bit more time into this game now that I sort of know, you know, what I'm working towards unlocking that new planet.
I think you have all like the rudimentaries to like really explore to its fullest extent without being hindered.
Yeah.
At this point, in terms of the weather, last RNG's, the snow is withering away. It seems just to be super windy, so I'll probably shovel tomorrow.
Okay.
But in terms of the stream, I think this is a good place for me to call it a night.
Okay.
Thank you so much for allowing me this opportunity to come on and help you. And thank you for letting my friend come along to scan the bombs as we go through it.
Okay.
And yeah, it was really fun, and I learned a lot. Thank you.
No problem. The pleasure was all mine. Guys, please, if you're like me, I got a lot out of this. I really enjoyed streaming with Yip, and you guys are actually very generous in terms of your stopping by the stream and still showing the support, especially with all of those hosts and things like that. So if you'd like to show your appreciation to Yip, he is a streamer, and I would definitely recommend checking him out. I'm not necessarily done for streaming tonight. I actually need to talk with somebody about that, but I am going to take a short break anyway. But yeah, if you want to hang out, we'll probably do something else. But I do want to take a minute and just give a very special thank you to Yep, one, for teaching me the game, two, giving me a reason to try this game out, dealing with the fact that we spammed him with a bunch of Twitter messages to make this happen. And more importantly, behind the scenes, I have been extremely careless in how I've organized these streams. Like you need to really appreciate that Yip has been dealing with a lot of nonsense and getting this stuff set up, and stuff that really, like, anyone else should have, like, gotten sorted out, but I'm me. So the fact that he's here, especially after such frustration and like so many like just kind of flapping about sort of reschedulings and stuff like that, he definitely went above and beyond in terms of being very patient with me and dealing with my bad
Story part of the game, and that's really exciting. It's nice, System Shock. And so I'm gonna co-cast Risk of Rain with System Shock now, apparently. No, it's fine.
Folks, I'm just turning off the break. If you can hear the lovely Jessie Quill in the background. I just need a minute to set this up for broadcasting.
Sure.
How has your cast been? And hello, Jessie Quill chat.
Hi, System Shock. My cast was great. I did 3 hours of Resident Evil 0. It's my first time playing through it, and we beat the section called the laboratory, and the 2 main characters got separated, so we have to basically bring them together again.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah. Aw, thanks, Jerry. I know, right, lovely lad? So that is why you should go and follow System Talk, because he has an amazing voice.
Oh my god, I'm looking at all this chat now.
Right? Yeah, it's so nice.
Joshy man, since I have both streams up already, I'm going to put yours on mute so you don't want to hear double. I see what it's like, Joshy man. System Shock will remember that. Your title, Probability of Precipitation. That's great. I'm glad you liked it. Should I give you a proper introduction in my channel? We've currently got the swing music on right now, but I don't know. Do you want to like hammer straight into the game, or do you want to get a proper introduction as is tradition?
I don't need an introduction at all.
Okay. Then I need to find out where my bloody Risk of Rain game went. Oh my.
Do you not have this game anymore? Bye,
No,
fat
no,
camps.
it's open. It's just I lost it on my my monitor. This is just gonna take a second.
Hello, Deviant folks.
Uh-oh. Game.
Jerry, I can confirm that that's probably one of the best things to ever happen to me.
Anything wrong with the bill, Martin?
Thanks everyone for saying goodbye. That's nice of you. We have to put each other's IPs in? Like, what the fuck? I don't know if I trust you with my IP.
Oh my god, that's right. They don't have like a real
It's literally like co-op.
I'm happy to give you mine on the condition that you obviously do not broadcast it on your channel.
Of course not.
So, let me just turn this music down. Joshy Man wants an introduction.
I mean, I guess if it's demanded. Let's see. Oh, I like System Chalk's voice. Oh my god, System Chalk's voice gives me life. System Chalk and Jesse Cole ASMR collab, please. Listen to those soothing tones. Oh my god, System Chalk's voice is beautiful. I want him to read erotica literature to me. Oh god, that would make me melt in my chair. So I think it's safe to say that people enjoy your voice.
This is all from your channel?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much, chat. My channel, is it safe to say that my game to voice volume is a little bit screwed up, that the music should be brought down?
Sorry.
All right. Yeah, no worries. I also need to find my IP. It's WNIPCFG is the thing in Windows, right? Nope.
Well, you can go to command and you could type in ipconfig, one word.
IP, not win. That's.
I mean, well, yeah, and then it should be the one that says IPv4 address. No, the. Wait, hold on, where is it? Is it not ipconfig? Am I an idiot? Why do I not? Oh, ipconfig /all. Maybe?
Great, thanks. You know what?
I
think
know this.
I've
How do I not know this?
I've probably got it. Just 1 second here.
It's not showing. Why am I so dumb?
Yeah, don't sweat it, Jesse. I think I got it.
Thanks. You can also go to like whatsmyip.org or whatever.
That's exactly what I did.
Yeah.
Although I was fairly certain there was a way to like. Oh, you know what? I forgot to give you the port.
Okay. I have no idea what the game wants. My dad said he sounds like a Sith.
What's so wrong about that, Dad? Dark side's in touch with its feelings. Sounds fine to me.
That's true. We've had this discussion many times, and I have said multiple times that I would probably be someone who is, yeah, I got it. Someone who would be. Did he create the game?
I just created it now.
Okay, I might have connected a little bit before. I would definitely probably be a gray Jedi, someone who would probably try to do the most neutral good as possible, but I would still do things that would benefit me and be in touch with my emotions and stuff. Failure to connect.
That's not that surprising, to be completely honest. I remember there was a little bit of frustration when I tried to set this up the first time. Now, I was always under the impression there was a way for me to actually directly invite people.
Maybe through the Steam list? Like the friend list?
I normally disable my overlay, though, so...
Let's see. So if your overlay is disabled, I think you could just open up the Steam list and probably add someone like that.
Okay. Here, let me try that
Invite
again.
to trade, join game. It doesn't work for me, I guess. I don't know.
Okay. Do you maybe want to try hosting, and then I'll see if I can jump in? If not, like, all I need to do is, like, open up a port on the router, but I have a new router, so it might take a second.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I'll try that. Library. Okay, hello. I want to look at my games, not software. Steam, please.
I would never want to belong to any club.
Oh,
Grey
somebody
Jedi
just-
use blaster? You think so?
Ally08GIR, thank you very much for following. Oh, shoot. I actually should say something to your chat. The Strike Eagle, are you here?
No, not in my chat. He was
Sacre
earlier.
bleu. Alright, you're dismissed, chat.
Let's see. IP config stuff. What's my IP? My public IP address. What does that mean? Shown. Hidden. So confused.
Oh, I think it's just trying to make it so that you don't see... Ah, great, thank you. Alright, chat, I want you to dox... no, not dox. I want you to DDoS the hell out of this address.
Wow, okay.
all 5 of the people watching right now are gonna bring your computer to its knees.
I hosted it, so...
Great, thank you. Connecting? The fact that it hasn't connected right away probably indicates badness.
Me. I remember that there was a lot of games that had this issue, like on Steam, and what my friends and I did in college was use things like... Oh god, what's the name of it? We used Hamachi.
Yes.
Yeah. And we also used
Oh,
Evolve.
hello. I think I'm in.
Oh, yeah?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope, you probably can't. If you can't see me, then I'm not in. I probably just started the
Well, I
Resident Evil.
didn't start or whatever.
I should still see you in the menu, though. I have a feeling I probably just went to the main menu.
Like, I'm in the game, I guess. I don't know. It's only for System Chunks, chat. You guys are silly.
Yeah, okay. I just need
It's
to...
almost like we should have checked this before we started to broadcast it.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I
I definitely know there's a port forwarding thing that I need to do, so...
What is this game? Are you a meteorologist who tries to predict the weather? If only it was that cool. Risk of Rain is basically a hardcore game where if you die, you die. And it's, you know, you're this little pixel thing. So here, let me show you. I'll actually like show you the game. That might be actually something conductive to a cast, right?
Could you please explain what a hardcore game is?
Sure. So a hardcore game is basically hardcore in a lot of games. So like Diablo or Risk of Rain or other things is where if you die, you're dead and you permanently. You cannot revive your character in any sense of the word. You lose all of their inventory, your skill sets, and sometimes even your bank, depending on the game. So... You're fine with just hearing Jesse and Chalk's voice. Okay, well, we could do that. We can make it a gaming talk show. Hey, Jay Hummel, welcome on in. So, yeah, I'm just running around, and apparently I'm a meteorologist trying to make sure that the weather stays a safe place. But yeah, see, so I just died. Get styled upon, and it shows you how you lost, what your class was, what you were killed by, and you return to the lobby, and that's it. Okay, do you have any idea what we should do about the port forwarding or anything? Have you looked anything up?
Yeah, I'm just setting it up now.
Okay.
So I'll give you a website in a sec.
Okay.
Oh wait, are you kidding? Ah, God. Joshy Man, that is by design.
I should probably do that too. Fuck people knowing what games I play.
I just found it like I was not playing games because I didn't want like people in my server to know, you know, I was in X, Y, or Z game, and I'm like, this is a stupid way to live my life. Like, I'm not broadcasting. Why the hell should I care what anybody's, you know, thinking? So yeah, sorry, chat, but I do have an outside life.
Yeah, I've had people comment on it too, like, why are you not streaming that? And I'm like, because I don't have to. Notifications. How? Privacy. There we go.
Okay,
No,
I think
no one will know.
best I can say is if you go to portforward.com and pick your router, there should be an option that gives you risk of rain. Alternatively, I can just tell you.
Portforward.com?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
I guess I could turn on the.
You're never safe, not when Lovely Lad is here. Okay, Lovely Lad, this is a safe place, so if you're trying to say that people are not safe here, you're gonna have to leave. Good night, Allie. Thank you so much for stopping by. How to set up your router. Oh god, okay. I don't know exactly.
You can skip a lot of this.
By downloading their software?
Oh no, don't worry about downloading the software. It's a waste of time.
By looking up Risk of Rain?
Yeah, so like I'll show you the link that I'm following right now. You probably don't have this router, but
Well, yeah. Well, Risk of Rain says that, you know, the port that it defaults to is right.
right. Okay. Yeah, actually, I mean, if you just open up that port, if you have a router on, then that should work. I'm just doing the same thing.
Okay.
Same thing here. Although I'm still trying to figure out why.
Hi, playful chick. You're very, very sweet. Thank you. We're doing very super secret networking stuff.
Windows, please.
Oh fuck, I don't remember my login for my router. I'm pretty sure it's actually something like... Jeff, you know what it is. We just did this a little bit ago. Do you know what our login for our router is?
Is this the second time that Jeff is going to save the stream?
Yep. What was the first time?
Bringing the water.
Oh yeah. I'm muted. Can you... Hold on, let me mute Discord too so you guys don't hear it on your stream.
Hey, Superior Blaze. What does a guy need to do to get a damn command prompt on this? Oh my god, I hate Windows so much.
What are you looking to do?
Me? Oh, I've got it now.
Yeah.
But
Oh, okay. Hello, Superior Blaze. Yes. Meow, meow, meow. Yeah, I know, Dad, but that login, like, we changed it. But Jeff has the access to it, so he's changing it for me right now on his computer. Thanks, Dad. Okay, I think I'm good.
Okay, and I'm probably just locking this in myself.
Alright, let me close it and open it again, I guess. Yes, Annie Steiner is my dad. That is my
Hi,
dad's
Dad.
username. Hi, Dad. Yeah, Dad, I got it. Thank you. My webcam looks blurry. Why? I think my webcam is just getting old.
Okay, believe it or not, I think I'm ready to try this again. Your place or mine?
I mean, whichever one will work. What do you think?
I'll try connecting to yours first.
Okay.
Same IP, I guess?
Yes.
Okay.
Hi, Relita. I am not ending. But hello, welcome. It's good to see you. How are you? Let's add some fails for taking so damn long to do this.
I think the fails are entirely mine, but...
No. Okay, so I'm hosting a game. This is my port. This is my name. Okay. It's hosted.
Okay.
Game hosted successfully is what it says.
Okay, I'll try... I believe it should tell you that System Shock has joined the game.
Hey! Look at that.
We did it, Reddit.
Okay, force item sharing?
So,
You have to be nice? What does that mean?
So you'll recall part of the game is, you run around. It's very much a roguelike in the sense that you run around and build up your arsenal, like your ability to handle the end boss. I'm actually, so because I built this new PC, I'm not actually able to use any of the stuff I unlocked. We're both basically doing this as a clean playthrough from the very beginning.
Oh no, okay.
No, this is great. It's a wonderful way to equalize everything. So, basically, if we turn on item sharing, if I have more items than you, it's going to not allow me to pick up an item until you've picked up an item.
Yeah, no thanks.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say, like, in some senses it can be good if, like, you expect somebody to be a greedy jerk, but I've noticed that in practice it winds up being very frustrating because, like, one person will be on the side of the map, another person will be on the other side, and it's just a mess, so. But looks like you're ready to go, so let's onward to the breach.
By the way, guys, really quick, Leth is a fellow broadcaster who was hanging out here all night, and he actually coded this part of Risk of Rain. So go check him out, throw him a follow. He's super, super cool.
Hello, Leth.
Yeah.
Is there any chance that we'll be able to have Steam integration so I can just click Jessie Quill's name and add her in? I'm asking you in the nicest way I know how.
Yeah, that's probably the nicest way that you have. Ralita, yes, that is System Shock.
Rolita, with this voice, did you even need to guess?
Okay.
Alright, so you familiar with your controls?
I think so.
Okay. It also helps if you mouse over what they do. The secret to this guy is you really want to make use of that dodge roll. It's a really helpful tool. Also, his second ability, like the one that in my case I press X, it's one of the highest damage. I think it's one of the highest damage abilities in the game. So.
Wow. Okay.
So usually in these levels, what you want to normally do is try and find the exit as quickly as possible. Although one of the drawbacks to that, it's a little bit like FTL, that if you rush to an exit too quickly, then you're under-equipped. But in this case here, we've got an exit. We don't have that much we can pick up. Did you just fall through the world?
Yeah.
We may need to reset.
I went back to the beginning of the game.
Yeah, that's fine. I did trigger the boss, so just a heads up.
Leth said that Risk of Rain is a 2-year-old game, and therefore it's not gonna happen. Plus, he doesn't know how to do it.
I'm hearing a lot of excuses, my friend.
Interesting.
Okay, I think we should probably reset, because I remember this happened to me once. A reset fixed it, but I know it's going to be very frustrating to play under those circumstances.
Sure.
I'm also getting a little bit of lag, so I'm out.
Alright, see ya. Gonna have to start the game over to get rid of that bug. Thanks, Sleth. Alright, so... join yours? Or mine?
Yeah,
Right?
I'll join yours. Yeah.
Start online. Post game. Okay. Yeah, I think this game is pretty cool. And it's really awesome that we get to know one of the programmers. And this is why I really love Twitch, that it's so easy to find indie... Well, not easy, but it's really great to find indie developers and artists and everything, and be able to support them through playing their game and getting to know them and watch their cast and everything.
When you say no, do you mean in the biblical sense?
God damn it, System Shock. Are you able to join my game?
Yeah, I thought I joined already.
Oh, I guess I didn't hit ready, because I'm an idiot.
But yeah, so first ability is good, second ability is great for throwing out a large amount of damage, and then the third is your dodge, which is particularly helpful. I also think I'm probably lagging out a little bit, but this is just me. I don't think it'll affect our ability to enjoy the game.
Uh-oh. Hi, Godfather. It's going well. Thank you very much.
Alright, I'm going to unleash the beast. Oh, this will be easy.
I played this game a little bit by myself earlier this week, and I totally got annihilated. It was fun.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's the fun of this game. It's really punishing, but it's also very fair. I remember when I first beat Providence, it was an incredibly satisfying feeling. Also, I really like the setup we have right now. I'll let you get that coin purse.
Okay.
So basically, we run out... Well, you probably already know this, but we run out the clock on these guys, and the best thing is that the game... I'm sure you already know that the game gets harder as you... as time goes by.
As time goes on. Yeah, I noticed that.
So we're trying to come up with this nice little optimal trade-off between collecting resources while, while not letting the difficulty get too high. So this is a really great start. We pretty much finished off the level in the first, basically the opening moments. And so what this allows us to do is run through the level and spend the gold that we've got fairly promptly.
Wow, I got an achievement.
So did I. Defeat 20 Lemurians and whatever. Who is System Shock talking with? Somebody special.
Hi. My name is Jesse Quill.
So urns are pretty great because they usually the imps are pretty easy to kill. And yeah. Now I generally prefer chests over how like life over the these like idols, because this is only a probabilistic ability to get a drop. But if you go to the far right, I've already taken 2 items, so you can actually open the chest, and then I'll blow my money on this thing. The chest will give you a guaranteed drop, so it prevents, in this case, it's a slightly better deal for you.
To the far right?
Yeah. Wow, I failed 3 times in a row, but I did wind up getting a goat hoof, so... Did you get the achievement for that, by the way?
Yeah, I did. That's cool.
Nice. No need to feel dumb, Pie of Reckoning. The only reason why anybody should know that it's Jessie Quill is it's the only charming female voice that you'll ever hear in my presence.
I doubt that.
Okay, so that chest should be...
Oh,
I know we had one. It was like right at the beginning of the level. Oh, there's one down here. So you can grab that.
Okay.
And I'll just see if there's anything up there. Oh, there's also a shrine. How much? Oh, crowbar's a great item. How much money do you have left?
250.
250. Wow. Okay, I'm going to be selfish and take this chest.
That's fine.
Meat nugget is good, and you can actually use this idol at the top. Just use up as much money as you can, and then I'm going to go to the exit so you can let me know when
Okay.
when you're done.
Oh, Godfather, it's always loot in here. You know this community, please.
What are you talking about, Lube? Lube, wow. Lube Godfather.
Good try. Everyone's talking about like pansexuality and dick pics and boob pics. It's great. I'm so proud of all of you. Okay, it broke, I guess, so I'm done.
Okay, cool, yep.
Hey! Cool.
So, have you made it to level 2 before?
No.
We're making progress.
Yay.
So, I will say co-op is also a little bit of a cheat, because basically only one of us needs to survive the level, so you could actually wind up dying.
wow.
Great dodge, by the way. We would wind up, you'd wind up coming back to the level. Now, in practice, it's actually really bad because you wind up severely under-equipped, and basically you wind up dying on the harder levels right away. But it is, it's something that
Oh
means
my
the
God!
difference between... All right, well...
That happened so fast! I think I got like 2 shot.
Yeah, well, basically they all stacked up on top of you. It's not an optimal strategy to do what we were doing. I mean, I'm completely culpable in it, and it was mostly just because I wanted to get up some gold. Normally, I noticed that there's a bunch of cool stuff for me to get, but I think you get to watch me play this. Oh my God!
Yeah, I do.
It's Pandora's birthday. I have money and stuff.
All right, so I need to figure out whether or not Akakadak actually donated or Endors did. Endors, are you in chat?
Neither Endors nor Akakadak is in your chat.
Who the hell just donated? I'm like super happy that you guys did this, but I really wish I was able to give people some Endors. Thank you so much, man. You guys have been really great with the donations lately. So we've got, I should say that Jesse Quill has the honor. Well, I can't say it's an honor. I mean, it's maybe selling myself a little too much.
No, it's definitely a...
But Jesse Quill did me the great kindness of being the first donor of 2016, which actually gave a second donation as well, but those services have not yet been rendered. And
That's great.
Basically, we also had somebody from Jesse Quill's channel who actually wasn't watching my channel at the time because it was during Keep Talking Nobody Explodes who donated. So this first month on Twitch has been very humbling, guys. I'm trying to get better at accepting these donations. I think you guys are, well, I can't say overly generous because I like the money. But yeah, like I definitely need to take a moment and recognize you guys for what you've done, and especially Endors. For those of you who don't know Endors, he has been a longtime member of this cast. I can remember him from when I was streaming Gods Will Be Watching. He was the first one ever to Craigasm at my voice in public. And has actually also the distinction of the largest single donation to the channel. It's shared with Akakadak. And it's never the amount. Again, the biggest thing that you guys can do is be here and show that support. It wasn't that long ago. In fact, Enders can tell you when it was a guy speaking to an empty cast while playing this kind of weird roguelike difficulty adventure game called Gods Will Be Watching. And I now have sort of a batch of people coming in, showing their support. I've got people like Alcanu hosting us, somebody who I look up to as a streamer. I'm able to co-cast with Jesse Quill, somebody who is easily one of my top favorite streamers on Twitch, if not the favorite streamer on Twitch for me. It's absolutely wonderful, and I never want to take that stuff for granted. Although I need to also appreciate that I'm not the only. It's not just my audience that's listening, so maybe I should stop gushing and just accept the kindness. So thank you very much, Endors. If you have anything you'd specifically like done with that money, please let me know. He was pretty weird then. Not much has changed.
Don't change.
And Jesse Quill, to answer a question that you posed previously to me, do you see the remaining enemies?
No.
Okay.
I don't.
Okay. Sometimes it lists it over my head, but I'll give you...
I saw that last level, but I don't see it this one.
This is going to be a little tedious for you because I'm not very strong and I like living.
No, it's fine. No, Pumpkin Man! Human nature, stay around.
Why are they leaving? They don't want to watch a solo Risk of Rain stream?
Pumpkin Man and Human Nature met up earlier this weekend, so I thought that was really cool. That's awesome. And they said something like, thanks Jesse Quill for letting me meet awesome people or whatever, and it made me feel really great that I was able to help a group of people like meet up and befriend each other and stuff. Like, that's really fucking awesome.
Well, I mean, in some ways that's kind of the story of us, right? I knew you through Clara's channel and that, but I've had the great fortune of getting to to talk to you in terms of Discord and Clara's mod channel and things like that. And obviously there is the person that I got to see on stream, who I won't say is that different from the person that I get to talk to, but obviously when when we're modding a tough day or something like that, we're able to build that rapport. I never would have, never really, under normal circumstances, I never would have gotten a chance to, meet somebody and have the interaction with something like that. So it's kind of Twitch, it's kind of the internet, but it's really neat. Again, as I often repeat too much, it's sort of a people business. It's the real advantage of having this very interactive medium of Twitch.
Oh, well, yeah, I absolutely agree. Also, Pumpkin Man, well, technically it's Sunday right now for me, so I meant earlier in the weekend because I didn't know if you meant Friday or Saturday, because, just because you post a picture on a day doesn't mean that's when it happened.
Oh, by the way, Endors, just for the benefit of both chats. Oh, okay, Jesse Gold just saw it. Saw us play the Plague game and really enjoyed it. That was Jesse Cole's recommendation. She had been donated it over Christmas, and I was like, I'm a bit of a cheap ass, so like I'm kind of like, I don't want to pay all that for it, but I kind of said, it's like, well, is it a good game? She didn't actually directly answer it, but.
Well, yeah, I can't speak for your money. Like, yeah. I enjoy the game, but yeah. I've seen you play it, like, off-cast, too, so...
Yeah, no, I really like it, yeah.
Good! You can play that again, too, later tonight, maybe.
Are you already giving up on Risk of Rain?
Well, I'm not playing right now.
Yeah, I know. I'm almost cleared out the level. Normally it's not like this, it's just we were at the very start of the level when I let you die,
yeah, normally
so...
I'm not an asshole and die and stuff.
But yeah, I need to appreciate it's not always the most fun to watch Risk of Rain performance art. So what I am gonna do, I'm gonna run and just get some items. Because in the end, the way that you survive in this game is through the items, either the special use ones or the just regular stuff like the teddy bear, the crowbar, the healing egg. I will say I think it's called Eden's apple. It's basically one that gives you like a big boost of health when you hit the use button. probably the best item in the game. Every time I have had it, it's always been, man, I just saved the run with that thing. And every time I've switched it out for something else, it's always been, I really wish I had the the apple right now. So I never leave it anymore. And how's it going, Envor? Thank you, Jesse, for